Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday, little smokies. I hope you all are... Oh my god, so much chapstick on the side of my face there. Sorry. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. It has been an interesting morning for me. If you guys remember, I told you I was going to be doing a little bit of gym. I was going to be getting back into the gym. I went this morning. I did a little bit of training. Boy, can I tell you guys that I have worked out parts of my body that I didn't even know you could work out. And I've done workouts today that I didn't even know existed. Like, for starters, I don't even know what the hell it was called or what the hell I did, but there was like a thing and it looked like a tiny little, like, if you made a bed for like a dachshund, but you didn't put a mattress on it, and it's just like 4 poles and you put weights on it, and I had to like push that shit through the gym like I was in a strongman competition. It was some crazy shit. And then what else did I do? I did dead bugs. Dead bugs was pretty lit. I can't lie. I was feeling those dead bugs though. I get why they call them that. And I worked out this like part of my ass that I didn't even know you could work out or even existed with this like band thing. It felt crazy, but that should be your motivation for the day. Go hit the gym today. Why not? You know, add that to your list of things if you wanna. If not, work out at home or something. Hit a little like Jillian Michaels. You know, barely functional said I love doing dead bugs.
Motherfucker. Good morning, young lady. Have a great stream.
Oh my god! Goddamn! Hell of a way to start me off. Thank you, the Drama Network, for the $50 dono. Holy shit! Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That is so crazy. Oh my god. Thank you so much. I really fucking appreciate that. Hell of a way to start me off for the day, y'all. My gym motivation paid off. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Oh, I was talking about the dead bugs with Barely. That's what I was saying. She was saying that she loves doing dead bugs. The thing about dead bugs, if you've never done them, is you have to move like alternating arms and legs while you're working them out. I definitely looked like a silly little idiot for my first round of doing them because I could not figure out how to alternate my legs and my arms. I was just like, like, it just looked so funny. And she was like, you got this. You're gonna get it. And I was like, yeah, this is the motivation I need today. But yeah, I overall had a very good morning. I hope you guys had a great morning too. We've got a bit of an interesting stream today. So I've been keeping up a little bit with what's been going on with Colleen Ballinger for a little bit. A lot of people might not know what's even happened since her entire ukulele fiasco. So we'll be going through some of that today. I want to get into a little bit of the Pearadise documentary. We didn't watch the full thing last night, but we watched the first 2 episodes in the VC. We're going to try to finish it tonight, but we do have a packed schedule. Oh my god, excuse me. So I will remind you, little smokies, what we got scheduled up for today. So 7 p.m. in the events VC, we're going to be watching Wrong Turn for our movie night. And then following up with that, we're going to be watching Love Island at 9 p.m. And if things go good, we should be watching the last episode of the Pearadise documentary following Love Island. But if it ends up being too late for everybody, we'll just end up doing it tomorrow before Love Island. I am going to be doing the horror game stream tomorrow night. Wait, tomorrow or Saturday? I don't know. You guys let me know what you prefer. Would you prefer it to be late night on Friday, so like after Love Island, so like 10 p.m.-ish? Or would you prefer it to be this Saturday, maybe more like 8 or 9 p.m.? Just let me know. Just write Saturday or I'll just do a poll. I keep forgetting those exist. Let me just do a poll. Let me ask you guys. Horror game 1. I was gonna do it last night, but I pulled it in the Discord, and you guys all rather have watched Pearadise. So, Saturday, Friday. It's still gonna be kind of late no matter what, Mono, but it's not gonna... I don't want it to be like 3 a.m. vibes, because I feel like a lot of you guys aren't awake then. Also, let me turn my mic down a little bit today. I figured out this whole time the reason why my mic's been super low is because it was apparently turned down on my computer at some point, which I swear to God I'd turned up, but apparently not. So, problem solved there. But let's go ahead and start getting into some of the stuff that is going on with Colleen. So let's give you guys like a little bit of a rundown of like everything that happened leading up to that ukulele video, because some of you guys might be new to her or might not know any of the tea and what's going on, so I'll fill you in. So Colleen Ballinger was accused of grooming. And it was not one person who made this accusation, I want to be clear, but there's definitely one person that kind of like led the way with things, and we'll talk about him a lot today. So basically, if you don't know like who she was on YouTube, her name is Colleen, but she did this character, right, called Miranda Sings. And Miranda Sings was a bit of like a raunchy, like just comedic... I don't even know how you would describe it, to be honest. To me, I always thought it was kids' humor. I always thought it was like brain rot kind of. It was like brain rot before brain rot existed, and it very much felt like kids' humor. Now, here's the thing that I also thought was always interesting, is that and we'll watch one of these interviews that she does later, a little bit later, because I think it's really interesting to hear about how she talks about a lot of these situations after the fact. But she has always like kept this, oh, well, I never intended to be like a kid's content creator. But then my issue with that is when she realized that she was kind of only appealing to a kid's audience to keep up some of the level of raunchiness that you'll go on to hear of some of the things that she's done is a little bit interesting. It's kind of like, okay, you can't choose your audience, but you can also choose what you present to your audience. I think that's the best way to put it, if that makes sense. Alexis Ghost Raven said, I used to watch her channel starting in 5th grade. Exactly. And I remember a lot of people when I was in middle school who watched her, when I was in elementary school who were into her. So, you know. Your local fauna said, I was never really a part of the Miranda Sings hype. Just wasn't my flavor of humor, I guess. Yeah, I couldn't get into it either, but I knew a lot of people who were fans of it. So, thought that's very interesting. But let's go ahead and keep going. So in April of 2020, and this was around the time of like the same era. I can't remember if it was the same year that Shane Dawson got exposed, but it was the same era when Shane Dawson got exposed for all his weird behavior. A lot of these like big and popular YouTubers had started getting exposed for things, so it was just kind of the time on the internet. Like, you had to be there. So Adam McIntyre, who is a YouTube commentator, was the first to speak up and say what happened to him. And the things that she would basically instruct her fans to do. He was also the one who was sent lingerie when he was an underage fan. And we'll go on to hear her talk about that story verbatim herself. But to be clear, some of the things that have happened was she was in a group chat with fans. She'll talk about this as well. Where Adam was asked directly, like, is he a virgin? He was asked, like, questions that were a little bit odd, asked to send pictures, just things that, like, an adult should not be talking about or saying to a minor. Very odd behavior, to say the least. Okay. And then this also led to a lot of allegations coming out beyond that. But the weenie chat, by the way, is what that group chat was called that happened. And it wasn't just Adam who came out about the weenie chat. There was other people who had stuff that went down in there. Then she started doing a podcast with Trisha Paytas called Oversharing, which only did 3 episodes between May 23rd and June 6th. It came out that Colleen had sent a fan like Trisha's NSFW from her OF page and was kind of like laughing at Trisha, like making fun of Trisha, which like is a little bit interesting considering you're like playing in her face like you're her friend, but then you're sending to your fans, like, who, by the way, you'll hear how she talks about like fans as if they're friends. And I do think that there's a level where that can absolutely exist in a small community where you feel like friendship between your fans. But then it's a little bit different when you get as like big as she did to keep up these like weird relationships in the manner that she was. Because it's not like when you're reading the text, you're seeing her have like, okay, like this is a super like long drawn out like loving conversation. It's not like that, but it's kind of like just like asking to send pics or just short little weird things, which is a little bit interesting. But yeah, so playing fake in Trisha's face, and then when all of the allegations came out, she released this song Toxic Gossip Train, which led to that memed ass ukulele apology video that I'm sure we've all seen. So she put that out on her Miranda Sings channel, but she also has another channel, which is really important to note in this story because a lot of people kind of forgot about that. And on the Colleen Vlogs channel, which is her second channel, she didn't even take accountability whatsoever. Adam McIntyre has gone on to post like a large amount of receipts. He's had so many videos talking about the subject, which we'll get into some of his current day situation and how all of this is even coming back up into light the way it is right now. Another really interesting thing is that he ran the Miranda Twitter account at one point, and it was a trial run to potentially hire him for more permanent social media roles if it worked. He ended up posting something about coming out as a Meghan Trainor fan while being Miranda Sings, and it upset people, and they felt like she was queer baiting, so they took him off. So that's how that ended up being like a little bit of a thing at some point. So important to mention in this. Okay. So then Toxic Gossip Train gets put out, right? Everybody is memeing this shit all over the internet. I think what most people would have expected is that she would either talk about it, address it, and like have a real conversation about it that just isn't a little ukulele sing-songy song, or she would run away. Take a guess. Neither? Oh, how did you know? Well, let's go ahead. Because basically, what she did was Trisha canceled the podcast. Her live shows canceled. A lot of people covered this shit. Like, everybody was talking about it. And even H3 went on to, like, interview people. So it seemed like she was going the radio silence route, right? Then she took a total 5-month hiatus. She didn't post anything until November 18th. And then she started posting on the Colleen Vlogs channel. And the reason that I mention this the way that I do is because a lot of people don't even know that this happened. A lot of people kind of act like she left the internet for years. Absolutely not. She was back within a matter of months. She didn't take a full year off of the internet when this happened. It's not like she took an extremely long hiatus. She just started posting on the lesser known channel, I think, to kind of escape the heat. And I'll give my reasonings why I think that is as well. But on June 30th, if you don't know who Swoop is, she is an extremely popular commentary YouTuber. She has done some crazy series over the years that have been like really popular. Like I swear she has like a big series blow up every 2 years at least. But she did a 4-part docuseries on the entire situation that had happened. And this ended up getting 15.9 million views, which kind of like sparked up a little bit of attention back to everything. And here's some of the things that she found that are very interesting. So during her investigation, she found out that Johnny was lying about a lot of his experiences, taking things that the rest of the victims went through to make himself a bigger victim. So the one thing that was appreciated about that is at least like, because a lot of times like when these movements movements and things happen where a lot of people are coming out, there may be people who try to jump on the bandwagon for like attention, clout, whatever it may be. And at least she called to attention shit that was false. She didn't try to like portray anything as if it was real when it was not. Very respectable for that. Alexis said the whole Johnny arc was crazy. Oh, absolutely. Oh, excuse me. And then there were inappropriate conversations that he and the other victims were having with her brother Trent, as well as her ex-husband Joshua, which the whole Joshua Colleen arc, her relationship shit is like a whole deep dive for another day. Like, that would be way too much to even try to get into on top of all of this. But through 2009 and 2009 is when they begin dating. 2014 is when they get engaged. And July 2015 is when they get married. And then around September to October is when they publicly announced that they were getting divorced. So that's like a rough timeline of their relationship. Then Colleen met her future husband while she was filming Haters Back Off for Netflix, which if you don't know what that is, Colleen did have a comedy special on Netflix, which was a little bit interesting. I didn't think she was good enough for Netflix. Out of a lot of people, I think that they were just trying to go that like YouTuber route. It's around the same time that like Liza Koshy was like hosting, was it the Grammys or whatever it was? It was just like, why is Liza Koshy's face all over like television now when she was just on fucking David Dobrik vlogs? Not to be like that. It just was shocking to me how like fast her like jump was. Or Emma Chamberlain, for example, another one where it was just like, it felt like they just like picked a bunch of random YouTubers and they decided you're gonna become like a mainstream celebrity now. And then it felt like there were other YouTubers who tried to branch out into that, which like examples would be like Tana Mojo, but like I don't feel like she ever totally hit that like mainstream level, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm a little curious. But so then accusations from Johnny about Josh and Colleen. So Josh apparently was forming an unusually close relationship with Johnny, and Josh used Johnny for unpaid work. So remember, Johnny is the one that was found out that he was lying about some of the stuff, but this is apparently what did come out. Sorry, what? No, I'll eat my food later. Thank you. I love you. You can just leave it out. It's just dumplings. Thank you. Okay, so Joshua then apparently ghosted Johnny after years of friendship. And Johnny characterized Joshua's behavior as very predatory and grooming. He accused Colleen of cultivating inappropriate relationships with very young fans, which like has kind of gone on. I wouldn't say it's like totally true. Like everything is still kind of like weird with it. The whole, we'll get into what Colleen admits to later, and I'll let you guys form your own opinions about a lot of it, because the interview that I watched her do with fucking Raven Simone and I don't know Miranda's last name, but Miranda from Tea Time, that shit oof is a mess. So we definitely going to be reacting to that. And then, so he overshares personal detail, or he accuses her of also oversharing personal details about herself, including her sex life with younger people. And apparently she mocked her friends and other creators in the group chats, sent NSFW pics of Trisha. So do you see how all of these, like, allegations kind of are like mirroring a lot of what other people are saying? So that's what Swoop kind of came out to say. So Swoop episode 3 is where she does the interview with Johnny, her interview with Adam, and that's where she starts to reveal the cracks in Johnny's story. And I feel like the most obvious part is the Trisha part, because of the fact that like why would that have happened twice? Like 2 nickels, bitch. Apparently, then Swoop went on to interview the ex-husband Joshua for part 4 of the investigation. Now, in this interview, he totally denied the Johnny allegations, but also acknowledged that he did have inappropriate interactions with fans, and said that Colleen was emotionally manipulative, and then talked about how toxic their relationship was, and his concerns about her behavior were dismissed previously. And he discussed the impact that this has had on him, which I absolutely don't doubt, because look, their relationship, super fucking toxic from what has been talked about on the, like I said, this would have to be a whole nother deep dive for another day. This relationship is so fucking absolutely entangled, absolutely crazy. So, you would not believe. But then he also accused Colleen of having an affair with Eric, which is the new guy that she's with. So that's why I said that would have to be like a whole fucking, because you'd have to like break down the timeline like we did with the Ariana Ethan thing and make it like that. Neither Colleen or Eric have confirmed or ever denied this, which is very interesting, because you'd think she would, Miss Toxic Gossip Train, write a little song about it or something, but weird. Amethyst Underante said, why does 2 Nickels remind me of Kid Nickels from Flapjack? Dude, that just took me out. I'm so sorry. I read that and I was like, I have to read. I loved Flapjack. That banger. Devastator said, so that's why the Lego video never came out? Yeah. Absolutely. Also, I also love Swoop very much, cooking with that river. Swoop is a fantastic creator. Since the release of the docuseries, there's been continued criticism for her doing family vlogging. Now, this is something I wanted to fucking touch on. This is something that bothers the shit out of me. So, you're gonna move from having these crazy allegations to now, let me just put my kids' faces all over this vlog channel. I already don't like family vlogging. I already don't like putting kids' faces on the internet, especially not when you're like a huge creator. Like, I think there needs to be like some responsibility for the fact that they never signed up for that. And what if they want to live a goddamn private life? You can't ask a baby if they want to be on the internet. You can't ask a toddler if they want to be on the internet, even an elementary school child, a middle school child, and expect to get a realistic answer. That's insane. So, I personally don't fuck with that, but 6 months ago, on November 13th, after the possibility, so rumblings that she was going to go on tour, she sat down for her first live interview with Raven Simone and her wife Miranda for their podcast Tea Time. Now, we're going to react to some of this Tea Time podcast because Lord fucking knows, it's some of the most interesting shit I've seen in a minute. So let me pull up the first timestamp that I got for you guys. So I was with them when they first started interviewing her. I was definitely on the side of like, wow, I feel like this is a hard-hitting interview. They're asking the real questions. My opinion changes toward the end of this, and maybe you'll understand why. Maybe you'll have your questions still. But we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into this. This will be pretty much all we like. This and a few things from Adam are all that we're going to react to from this. I'm going to be doing a lot of telling you guys a story. So if you have any questions along the way, do feel free to ask anything if you get a little bit confused. Your local fauna said, I've never seen this interview, so consider me hyped. Strap in, bitch. We're about to... Whew.
That style of humor.
You said that Miranda sings. You had a good 20-year run. 20-year run with that. You got a Netflix show, girl. I ain't even had a Netflix show. Goddamn. I'm sorry. You had thank you.
Yep.
I can do anything. You had a 20-year run. You explained that you hustled to make that character what it was, and then the world imploded. And then you got canceled. And then you had all these accusations and a lot of voices come through the screen that had been rooting for you for so long. You had the rug pulled out from underneath you. we will get into those and kind of talk a little bit about some of the comments people have made and how certain.
Already look at I'm just keep a note of this. Look at the phrasing of it. The rug pulled out underneath you. I thought that was interesting. Took a little note of it for later.
Situations have made watchers and viewers feel. But I first want to ask you, when you first got that ting about, oh no, something is going astray, what happened personally, internally to you?
It was kind of a slow build. And I feel like I felt it brewing for a little bit first,
Thank you. Susie's gotta wake up for following on Twitch. If you guys do follow on Twitch and sub on YouTube, that's very goated, very appreciated. Thank you guys.
It was a very jarring experience. And first, I think I should say, when my audience kind of grew and it went from this older audience to, it spread and there was now a lot more teens watching me. I didn't adjust my comedy very much because I was like, well, they found me doing this, so this is what they like.
Starting right here. Isn't this exactly what I was just fucking saying earlier? About you don't get to choose your audience, but you do get to choose the kind of content that you present to them. Self-admittedly saying, so I realized I was getting a teen audience. I was like, not my job to switch it up. Listen to what she continues to say, bro. It gets even worse.
And this is what I like, so I'm going to keep doing the comedy I like. And I did adjust it a little bit over time. But one thing that I didn't do, and I should have been much more careful about, is I didn't adjust my interactions with my fans. And
wow! You thought you could interact with younger fans, and I'm using that, we all know what I'm really saying, but I'm using that for a reason. The same way you could have interact with older fans. Where in your goddamn mind would you think that makes any lick of sense?
That's something I regret a lot because, like I said earlier, the difference between me and a mainstream celebrity, at least in the beginning, was that I was attainable and look, she'll talk to us, she'll interact with us, and she's talking to us from her living room, she'll talk about anything. And she's so open and she'll talk one-on-one with us. She meets us in person at her shows and whatnot, and we know.
A meet and greet situation and like a little bit of fan interaction here and there. Like, for example, I know that there's big YouTubers that do like events where they'll like hang out in their Discord at certain times. But there's also like a level of like, okay, when you reach like a certain level of fame, there's people that were your day ones and you can still be cool with them, but you also need to like take a step back from the other people and like you don't know them. You clearly do not know them. And I think that's what leads her to these problems, is that she can't separate the difference between like, okay, someone who supports you versus someone who like wants to be your friend. They can support you and not have to be your friend.
Know her, and I didn't think about that when I was interacting with my fans, I didn't think about a power dynamic that could have been there. I didn't think about a parasocial relationship, and
like, what? Does she think that saying, well, I didn't think about these things is enough of an excuse? Because it's not. And I know her saying, oh, well, I regret. But did you think to have her say, I'm sorry for these things? Because one thing that you'll see is a trend in this fucking interview is that she does not say she's sorry unless she is prompted to say she's sorry. And it is the most aggravating thing ever.
I should have been more responsible in thinking about that, but I didn't even think of myself that way. I was like, yeah, we are friends. Like, I think I felt the same way. And so for me, I was like, well, I'm just talking to my...
But there's a huge difference between older fans and younger fans, right? You could actually befriend older fans, especially ones that you've known, like your day ones, people that started with you when you were a smaller channel and you were growing up from the jump. That's really common in YouTube communities, that like the ones who were there from like the very beginning, like the person on the channel will know who they are. We'll know them more than the random fucking people in the chat. But she's taking it to another level. Like, I gotta have secret private group chats. Like, why can't you just talk in a public Discord server? Oh, wait, because the shit you're saying is sketchy. That's why.
My friends, I talked to all of them like they were my friends, my sisters, all the fans. And I definitely should have been more careful with the way I was joking with them and the things I was saying to them.
Do you feel like not having a team earlier in your career hindered you from making better decisions?
I definitely wish I had someone to give me advice.
You, at your adult age, need somebody to tell you, hey, it might not be a good idea to make group chats with your younger fans and talk about sexual themes. I don't need that. And I'm young and a new streamer, like relatively new. I've not been streaming for more than like 2 years. So like, what's hard to understand about this? And I understand that the internet was a different climate, and they'll talk about that later in the interview. But that's also not an excuse for like behavior that was just always unacceptable. There's like jokes and then the things that you did.
You know, I was with that group of like the first YouTubers that kind of like rose to any sort of stardom or fame, you know, in the beginning. So it's not like there were people before me doing this that I could look to and ask questions about. This was a new thing. Yeah. And so, and I'm not saying that as an excuse.
It was a new thing? What? Like, not really. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I get what she's saying in that, but not really. Like, there was always... you don't need a guidebook for it, though. Like, it's just... I feel like it's so simple. It's not hard. Alexis in the chat said she doesn't respect her younger fans, doesn't respect her children's privacy. Her brother and his wife also use their kids as their central source of content. It's very, very strange. Exactly. And we're going to get talking about her sister specifically here a little bit later in this, but let's keep running through this so we can get to that point.
You know, there's plenty of other people who rose to fame who didn't interact with their fans. And but it was something that I felt was an appeal to why people were watching me at all. And I felt such pressure to like make sure I made my fans happy, because I wanted to do anything that they wanted, and I wanted to write back to every letter and respond to every message, and whatever they asked for, I wanted to give them and do, because they were the reason I had the career that I have. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't have the...
You can do that without making group chats and talking about sexual themes. Like, why is she acting like interacting with people needs to be that? You can respond to DMs and say thank you and like appreciate people supporting you, and even have like little back and forth conversations with people without getting to the point that she got to. Why is she acting like it's the fault of the internet that it was that way? No, it's the fault of you. Take responsibility and accountability for your actions. And you know what my biggest problem with this interview is? The whole situation and everything that went down. She was first accused in like 2020, like everything like carried all the way until 2023. This interview is in 2025, November of last year. And this is still how she talks about it. In the time that you've had away from your main channel, where people think that you were gone from the internet, but you weren't really. You didn't even attempt to change or grow. I mean, you can even tell that from the thumbnails on her family vlog channel, because it still looks like she's pushing out like clickbaity kids content. But meanwhile, you'll still have... There was one thing that bothered me, and I can show it to you guys later if you want. There's like one video where she's like clickbaiting like a picture of her like ass as the thumbnail, and like 2 videos down there's like literally a video of like one of her kids' face. Like, what the fuck? What is that? But
the life that I have and the amazing career that I had. And
it sounds like everything you were doing online was from a place of trying to please your fans and connect with your fans and
Not lose them.
Yeah, I really...
That's pressure.
But even with all of that, I wish first that there was...
Nobody wants to lose fans, but you have to accept that that's life sometimes, and people grow and move on from content. If you think that the only thing that's going to keep people watching your content is the personal interactions that you're having with them, then maybe your content needs to like take a shift. Maybe you need to grow with the audience and see what's actually like doing well. Like, if you're like, it's so insane. Like, the way she talks about this shit is so insane to me.
Someone there to help guide me and say like, hey, this could look bad taken out of context. This could look like, this could make someone uncomfortable, or, you know, I wish there was someone there to kind of help guide me. But at the same time, I'm also disappointed in myself that I didn't know better, because other people did. So why didn't I? You know, so that's something that I've had to work through, is like, why didn't I think more about this? Why didn't I think more about, you know, a parasocial relationship? But
you want to know why? Like Wake Up Lil Susie said, like make good content, because you didn't think about that. Instead of thinking about, oh, well, how can I make content that's gonna want to keep these people around, you thought about like yourself and how you could outwardly push like your narratives, and I just don't fuck with that shit. But let me go ahead and skip ahead in this a little bit, because I feel like they get a little bit loopy here for a bit. But then they get back into, this is where they start talking about the allegations specifically, and I think that this part is really interesting, and for those of you guys who have not seen this interview, it might be a little bit shocking.
Just paused and listened for a second.
There's a lot of things that were said about you. There's been allegations of grooming behavior, or how do you what do you think they're talking about?
That one is that's the one that got me the hardest. When that allegation came up, that's when I was out. I was done, because that was devastating and shocking. It was very shocking, because I know that my intention and my actions have never been fueled with the desire to manipulate or groom anybody ever.
Keep all of this in mind for when you hear them bring up the specific situations that happen later. All this of, my intentions were never this. Bitch, it doesn't matter what your intentions were, because you harmed people. You actively upset people. Like, take accountability for what happened instead of saying, well, I didn't mean to do this. That's like saying, okay, well, I accidentally lit a match and I was standing next to a gas pump and the entire gas station blew up and like 4 people got severely injured, but it's not my fault because it was just a mistake. Like, I didn't mean to light that match. Like, no, it's still your fault. You still have to take accountability, even if you didn't know it was going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't believe she didn't know that these actions would have consequences. She's just trying to play the, like, victimless, like, oh, I'm sad little woman. Feel bad for me. I'm woman victim. And I hate when women do this, because take accountability for your actions. If this was a man doing this, no one would let a man get away with this. Y'all know that.
That has never been something I have.
And I'll be clear, I don't think any of us are letting her get away with this. But we know there's people on the internet that are. I've seen people defending her.
Done or will ever do. And it's a very serious accusation.
Very serious.
Mm-hmm. So when those kind of words started being thrown around, that's when I kind of was, I kind of shut down. And that was devastating to hear. And
you shut down.
You asked, what does that mean
you
to other
shut
people?
Down.
That's why this was a hard thing for me to know how to navigate, because it wasn't about what did she do or what didn't she do. It was more about what was her intention behind some of these actions, I think. And
what are you talking about? No, it was about what you did, bitch. Stop trying to fucking sweep the subject to something else. Nobody gives a fuck what your intentions were. It's about what you did. Nobody's sitting there thinking about, ooh, was she sitting there plotting it in her room at night, writing in her diary as she's doing all this malicious little shit? No, we're sitting there saying you did a fucked up thing, take accountability for it, and you still can't do that now. In your own roundabout little carousel way, you're riding around on that goddamn horse in your brain, trying to find where the goddamn ring is to grab it off the thing, and still can't figure it out. How?
My intention was being decided for me by people talking about it. My intention wasn't to hurt or do anything negative ever. Now, that doesn't mean that people weren't hurt.
Right.
And that's the part that I wish I had paid more attention to. But I obviously didn't handle the situation the way that I should have. And it's really embarrassing. I wish that I could handle it a lot differently than I did.
When you say that, are you talking about like the apology
Talking
videos?
about a musical instrument that I should have not picked up.
So your regret is playing the ukulele. It's not about the way that it came off like you were mocking people, the victims who were coming out about their story. Your regret is simply in the fact that you chose to do the ukulele apology, not about the way it came off. She wants to talk about people talking about her intentions. Apologize for your intentions with that, because this is the one time your intentions are actually being brought up and actually matter, because your intentions weren't to apologize. You wanted to make a meme about it. And you want to know how I know that? Oh, because wait till we get into what the fuck she's been doing at her goddamn live shows.
Yes, I mean, I should have listened to what people were saying, and I should have.
I think people want an apology. I think people want for you to acknowledge the things that happened on stage. I hope that you give that to them.
I agree with you. I think that they do want an apology, and I am sorry. And here's the thing, is when you mess up and when you make a mistake.
Apology number 1. Did you peep that was prompted by the host who said, I think people want an apology, and I am sorry. Not, you apologize. No, it's like, and I am sorry. Like, it doesn't feel like an apology. It feels like an apology because that's what other people are asking for. You know what I'm saying?
Can do something wrong. Sometimes you got to keep apologizing for it. And that's what I should have done. Like, and people keep saying it's an apology song. I didn't apologize in that thing.
You did not.
I did not.
You know what?
There
You are
was
correct.
no
You did not
sorry in
apologize.
that.
You did not. I was actually laughing. So let you know. That was some crazy penmanship.
We also, when in watching it, I remember one of the things that we talked about was it felt like you were angry.
Oh, I also want to shout somebody out. Skeldamare. I've seen you in the YouTube chat a couple days now. I think when you applied to the Discord, you got denied because we hadn't seen your YouTube account. If you want to go ahead and reapply, I've seen you for a few days now, so you're definitely good to come in. We just don't want, like, people coming in who are, like, just somebody's random alt account, you know what I'm saying? But you're good to reapply if you want to. I've seen you in the YouTube chat, so sorry. And anybody who feels like their application has been denied randomly and you might be like, why? Usually it's just like we haven't seen your name around in the YouTube chat. So just wanted to give a heads up while I saw you here.
Yeah, I was.
And burnt out and just...
Fed up.
Yeah, fed up.
I was.
Yeah.
And it's very clear that I was angry. And that's why I keep saying I wish that I had just paused for a second and listened to my fans, to my supporters.
And process.
Because while there were things being said about me that weren't true, my people who would support me for so many years that I'm up here saying, like, I just wanted them to be happy, I wanted to make them happy. Well, they wanted an explanation. They wanted to
No shit, Sherlock! So your explanation was, let me play the ukulele. Like, you suck so bad. This bitch sucks so bad. It's, like, so insufferable to even watch this shit and hear, like, the lack of accountability years fucking later from the situation. So crazy. I'm so sorry. I hate yelling. I don't mean to yell. I will not yell again. But that one really took me out. Skeldmare said, I don't know how Discord works. I tried for fun. I only use it to play 7 days with my husband. Yes, definitely hit it again. Definitely hit the Discord again. If one of the mods could drop the link. Unsupervised behavior said application. Yeah, the Discord application only asks you what your YouTube name is and why you want to join the Discord. But it's only there just so we don't have, like, weird people coming into the Discord. Because there's definitely people that, like, I know about from, like, previous communities that I would not let in there. Like, I don't want to let creeps in the Discord or anybody that would make, like, the other women in there uncomfortable. So it just kind of avoids that process. It, like, keeps the creeps out the Discord, if that makes sense. So, yeah, most people get in, but if I haven't seen your YouTube name, you might have been denied. So just go ahead and reapply, because I'm seeing a lot of people that we might have not seen before recently. Jillian Thrill said, I didn't realize if y'all see the Y. Dude, some of y'all have put the funniest things in the Y. You please keep putting the most meme. Like, if you put, like, a channel meme, you're guaranteed to get into the Discord because you've been watching. You know what I'm saying?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, shit. Holy goddamn.
She's not sorry. She still just thinks this a big misunderstanding. What a dope.
Thank you so much, Wake Up Little Susie, but you're fucking cooking. No, that is literally part of what's pissing me off, is she's not sorry. She keeps acting like it's a big misunderstanding. And you'll even hear how her fucking sister talks about it, bro. And if you think how she talks about it is pissing you off, wait till you see how her sister fucking talks about it. Shit is absolutely fucking nuts. But holy shit, thank you again, Wake Up Little Susie, for the $25 dono.
Surprise, motherfucker. She's not sorry. She still just thinks this a big misunderstanding. What a dope.
It's letting y'all read out twice. And shout out to Gregory, his wicked voice. We love Gregory. Big Porky said, where do I sign up to be the Discord called Sacrifice? I'm crying. River said, I can't link the Discord or I would. I think I can actually drop
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh!
Heart hands emoji. Great stream, Pookie.
Oh my god, thank you guys. You guys are fucking crazy today. Thank you so much. Holy shit. Oh my god, thank you. Seriously, fucking thank you guys. I really appreciate y'all. Okay, so this is a copy. Hopefully this link works. If it doesn't, just, like, let me know and I'll have one of the mods drop it for sure. Oh wait, Amanda got it. Ah, thank you, Pookie. You guys are fantastic, and thank you again, Alexis. Oh my god, you guys have been amazing today. But let's go ahead and jump back into this because there's so much fucking more to talk about with this Colleen bullshit.
Understand what's going on, and they deserved that, and I didn't give it to them. Instead, I was angry and sang a song, and which is crazy.
It blew shit up.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was.
I'm aware.
Okay, just letting you know, that was crazy, bro.
Absolutely crazy. And I think, when the dust did settle, because I like you were saying, I did want to address it, and I was being told. I got a lot of advice from a lot of people, and the majority of the advice was don't say anything. And I'm sure you know.
Why did they tell you not to say anything? Because clearly you don't know how to fucking speak with any sort of common sense. Your brain has never meant sense, let alone a dollar.
From being in the
Honey,
industry
I
for
tell
so
her
long.
all the time, don't say nothing.
Right. Don't address it. Don't say anything. It will just make it worse. Don't address it. Don't say anything. It'll just make it worse. But I'm a different position than a traditional celebrity because people watch me because I was so open and I talked about everything. I mean, I talked about everything. Like that I've been through, my mental health.
Hoa, 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 Gregory on the beat. Hoa, 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 hoa.
Sorry. Gregory with the hoa hoa takes me the fuck out, bitch. I'm so sorry. That is fucking ridiculous. Not the huh. Like he sounds like a seal barking, like like yo, shout out Gregory. We love our man Greg. Dude, your local fauna said that hoa hoa was wild. Dude, this hoa hoa is horrific. That's why we picked Gregory, because we were testing out the other day on stream which one would have the best hoa hoa voice, and I heard Gregory's voice and I knew it was him. Dude, he holds a note, like he really can. I wonder what other sounds.
Motherfucker.
Oh,
Hoa, hoa, hoa.
It double
hoa,
plays,
hoa,
I don't know
Gregory
why.
on the beat. Hoa, 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 hoa.
oh, like, it is a little creepy. You're right, Brandon. But let's keep cooking on this. Thank you again, Alexis. I'm crying. Shout out our boy Gregory.
Health and my births and my pregnancies and my journey to fame. Like, I mean, everything I've been through, I've talked about online very openly. And so, my audience, that was one of the reasons they liked watching me. And so then to suddenly be like, not only am I not going to talk about this, I'm going to sing this song about it. And it was such a
So she went from being like, oh yeah, like I definitely shouldn't do that. I should talk about it because I've been so open with my audience to, yep, I'm going to sing this little song. She eventually does, like, she's done other interviews talking about it, but this one, it's just the way you could tell she feels very comfortable talking to both Miranda and Raven to the point that she is like willing to talk about it so oddly.
Hoa, 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 soy, Gregory. Hoa, hoa, hoa.
Why'd he hit it? Why'd he gotta hit it on a beat? Thank you again, Alexis. Shout out, Alexis. We'll hit a little mustard. Exile Warrior said, I think the Twitch broke. What's wrong with the Twitch now? God damn it. I'm not that great with the restream yet, and this was my first time fully setting up the stream myself without S1K's help, and I might have fucked it up. My bad, y'all. I'm trying. I'm learning. I'm good with YouTube, but Twitch is not my forte, so I'm learning. It's not loading at all. God damn it. It might be my fucking bitrate or something. I don't know. I'll check it out later.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, again.
Hoa, 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 soy, Gregory. Hoa, hoa, hoa.
Ho, ho, soy, Gregory. Ho, ho. Why is he hitting that shit? River said, I can't wait for you to have emojis. Dude, soon enough. It's so close. Oh, shit, again.
Fun fact, the song is the same melody as the song she wrote her ex-husband for their anniversary. Also, hoa, 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 hoa.
Ho, 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 ho. Like he be hitting it's like funny because you write them all the same and he hits them all at a different cadence, and so we are all Gregory stans here. We've all become Gregory stans. Thank you, Annie. And she said the song is the same melody as the song she wrote her ex-husband for their anniversary. Is the same melody. Like, that is so diabolical. Like, clearly her brain does not connect. Big Porky said Gregory yearns for theater but is trapped in the TTS. Could you imagine, like, what's that song? You know, Diary of the Wimpy Kid, when the little girl with the braids, she's like, hold me. Could you imagine Gregory hitting that beat? That's what I need in my life.
You're a mess.
Choice.
It was such a choice.
I very much.
Such a choice, bro.
Yes. And so I think, you know, I
Hoa 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 hoa.
Hoa, 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 hoa. Hoa. I'm fucking crying. Y'all got me weak as shit right now. Why is he starting to hit it like a fucking... Oh, hey, remember when we watched the John From beat, like when they were making music? He's trying to fucking audition.
Hoa 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 hoa.
Let it out, man. Let it out. I love how some of them randomly double and some of them don't. I still don't know why it does that. No fucking clue in the world, but shout out Streamlabs and thank all of you guys who've sent donos today. Huge fucking thank you to you guys. Big Porky said at this point we're gonna summon something. Yo. We're gonna summon the ghost of Gregory. He's gonna haunt the streams. Oh my god. Ooh, I'm a little weak. Alright. Let's continue this.
was like getting so frustrated because I was just like, let me just address this. Like, please let me just talk. I just want to talk about this. And so finally after I posted the video, it was shortly after I posted it, I was talking to someone on the phone from my team. And I was like, oh, that was a huge mistake. That was really stupid. It was like there.
Nah, bitch. It took you talking to your team to realize that was a huge mistake. Like, literally 5 minutes after the video was posted, the entire comments were eating you up. You didn't realize, like, 5 minutes after you posted it? Oh, damn. You didn't even... Like, it's just the fact that it didn't dawn on her, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this at any point. Like, you're so nuts.
There was so much, I have to say something. And finally I let it out.
What does regret feel like?
I'm sorry. Before we continue on what she thinks regret feels like, Alexis in the chat said Gregory himself will appear like an apparition and grant Zay a piece of bologna. How can I decline the bologna if it's from Gregory? What if he forces me to eat it, bro? This is diabolical. Who knows what Gregory's powers are capable of?
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Because you want to fix it. You can't fix it. And that's the worst. Like, I wanted to fix it so bad and there was no fixing it.
How do you think the people you affected feel? How do you think they feel? That there's no going back? That it's stuck like that forever? How the fuck do you think that the victims fucking feel? You only think about yourself, you selfish, narcissistic ass bitch. I have never been more disgusted watching some shit like this.
Nothing I could do to fix it. And that was so awful. That was because not only did I not address anything that I wanted to address, not only did I not, dispute the lies that I wanted to dispute, and I just made things worse. It was so bad.
So where do you think your mind went during that time that you were so unable, I guess, to have the perspective you have now?
Were you trying to save a character? Were you trying to save yourself? Were you trying to...
Were you just like completely
blacked out in
kind
anger?
of disconnected from it and you're like, I'm just gonna do this because I'm pissed?
I feel like it was a little bit of all of it. I mean, it was really overwhelming to, have these words thrown around in connection to me and my name that are really horrible. I mean, that's a horrible thing to be, and to be accused.
Yeah, let me not yell because I made you a promise. Let me bop this bitch one time upside the head. One real good bop upside the head. And let's see if that wrangles her brain back together. In bop 'em sock 'em robots, not in real life.
Stuff when you know that you are not that, especially because, in my opinion, that's one of the worst things a person can be. It probably is.
then why do it? Why do it? How are you gonna sit here and say that? But you did it, bitch. How the fuck? I'm finding it.
And so to be accused of that, knowing that I'm not that.
Are you speaking of grooming?
Grooming. Grooming and in any way harming
Children.
Yeah. Is the opposite of something or someone I am or ever would want to be. And
The lack of accountability in the house. Oh my God, you can feel it in the air.
And so to be connected to those words, was devastating. It still is. And you know,
Then don't do it. Maybe don't do it. Maybe just don't fucking. Ooh, if you don't want to be that person, maybe don't do the goddamn fuckery fuck ass shit that you did. Maybe think with your fucking adult ass brain for a second, and maybe, just maybe, talking about sexual things with younger people is a shameful fucking thing to do. It's the most disgusting, heinous fucking thing you can do. You're sitting here saying you fucking know that shit, that you don't want to be called that shit, then don't do it. Don't even do anything fucking close to it. Don't even fucking cross the line, get close to the fucking line, because never in my life would I think to do some shit like that. You are through and through just a disgusting fucking person for the way that you try to victimize yourself for the bullshit that you did. You don't even fucking think about how the goddamn victims actually fucking feel. So fucking selfish, so fucking manipulative, so fucking disgusting. God damn. Wood chipper, unsupervised behavior, cooking.
that's something that will, you know,
It'll follow you around.
It will.
It will follow you around.
It will.
There were moments in your live shows where there were children brought up on stage and you were, as showbiz says, going for the funny in a lot of moments. However, looking back at moments, there is another person on the internet who is saying that when she went up on stage for your live show, she was a part of the yoga challenge section of your show.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it made them feel gross. Later in life, they were SA'd, and when they look back at that moment with you, they feel similar feelings. Can you dive a little bit deeper into what happened at the yoga challenge?
It was a challenge on YouTube for a while for people to try out different yoga poses. Like couples would do it together, because if you're not experienced in yoga, it's difficult to do.
Couples would do it together. Already right there. Something that couples would do together? Why are you involving a young person? Where in your silly little brain did you think that that was a normal thing to do? Oh, I never wanna. So,
And so, since I'm a YouTuber on my live show, sometimes I would do challenges from YouTube. So I did that challenge, and I'd have people come up on stage, and we would try out different yoga poses that popped up on the screen. And obviously, we could never do them, and I would be, you know, flailing about as Miranda. And there was one pose where there are two people, and both legs are spread open. You're holding each other's legs, and I genuinely never thought of it as a sexual or inappropriate thing. To me,
wet. Spread open. Spread open? What's between somebody's legs? Let's play a little trivia game. What is between a human body's legs? Do 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 do. Oh yeah, your private parts. You have somebody spreading open? What do you think that is? And especially when you're literally saying, okay, well, this was like a challenge on the internet for couples to do. Why do you think it was a challenge on the internet for couples to do? Because people found that those poses were funny. Why? Because they were sexual. Yeah, yoga poses in the terms of like a yoga class, super not sexual. But you know why there is yoga classes that are women only? Because there will be men who will go to classes like that to try to sexualize women. I rest my case.
joke was that when the legs were open to do the pose, the fart sound effect came on screen. So it was like, once the legs opened up...
Oh my God, I need a pause because, bro, I couldn't put it better than Alexis did in this chat. Alexis said she did it because the sexual element was the comedy, bro. The absolute mental gymnastics she's doing to rationalize her predatory behavior. Perfectly put, Alexis. Thank you.
There was a fart sound. And to me, that was all I thought.
Okay,
that
let me back that up.
joke was that when the legs were open to do the pose, the fart sound effect came on screen. So it was like once the legs opened up, there was a fart sound. And to me, that was all I thought that joke was. I never knew that was something that would make someone feel uncomfortable and trigger emotions and feelings. I feel terrible about that. Genuinely, when I heard about that, I felt so bad, because that is something I'd never want to do, is trigger anyone, but especially a girl who's been through horrible things in that manner. Like that, it feels so terrible that me doing this silly yoga joke, in my mind, was a silly yoga joke, could be something that could trigger her in such a negative way and affect her in such a negative way.
I feel like she also didn't even listen to what she was told with the story. She was told that this happened to her, but then later in life she experienced an SA situation, and that SA situation made her realize that the feelings that she felt during the SA situation were the same feelings she felt during this one. She didn't say that you triggered up an old situation for her. That's how much you're not even listening to how much you're affecting these people, and it's really fucking disgusting to me. But let's go ahead. I'm going to skip in this a little bit, because I'm not going to lie. She's just going to keep fucking looping on why she thinks that was okay for a bit here. And then... okay, so there is this short clip that I'll just sum up for you guys, where Miranda asks if Colleen was ever given issues by any of the parents, if they like came up to her and made issues about the jokes, and Colleen says no, that all the parents always found everything funny and that they were like consenting of everything. So I think that's a little bit interesting to say, considering you have people coming out saying that shows like affected them. Not every like teen is gonna share every feeling that they have with their parents, so just like kind of a weird way for her to almost sweep things under the rug. Also, thank you iVixie for the redirect, much appreciated, girl. But yeah, I don't know, that to me is just super extra fucking weird. But let me go ahead and skip to the part where I told you guys before, they talk about like culture changes and how like the internet has changed over time, and I just feel like this was like a piss poor way for her almost to like continue to excuse her behavior. So I definitely want to get into some of what she said here, but hold on, let me just refresh, because it gave me a little bit of a glitch where I was trying to load on the timestamp I had. All right, here we go.
It was so ridiculous and over the top. And
You know, time is interesting. Time is really interesting, because if you go back in time for entertainment, there's been many a comedian, many a entertainer that has done things in their early career that when they look back on, they wish they didn't, because culture changes. While people were laughing with...
Do you see? This is where I said that Raven started to lose me in this interview. It's almost like she's giving her an out. And hear how much worse it gets. Like, it's like she's literally handing her like a life raft for what to say.
You, while people were laughing with you and quote unquote at you because of the character, it must feel so like two-faced for you, for all these people who were laughing with you, and then all of a sudden
Have them turn against you.
I don't, yes, it's painful to see people who supported me and laughed with me and all this stuff suddenly turn and change their mind about it. But I don't blame anyone but me for, I completely blame myself, especially.
This is the only time you can actually like be like, wow. Because even like the fact that Raven was trying to set it up to be like, yeah, aren't they so two-faced for that? Don't you think that they're fucked up for like being fans of your comedy, and then later like in life realizing that some of those jokes were maybe inappropriate and you just feel like they've betrayed you because they were laughing with you then? She's like, a little, but like it's my fault. When you're hearing Miranda start to actually take the slightest bit of accountability, you're like, okay, well, why would Raven even try to set it up like that? It's hella weird. Hella fucking weird. And it doesn't get better. I will be very for real. It only gets worse. Amethyst Amarante said, I was sad Raven just didn't do anything to make her take accountability, which made me wonder what skeletons she has in her closet. Oh. And then we got River, who said, welcome to the real world. We face trauma. We put up boundaries. You don't deserve our loyalty if you can't respect our fucking boundaries. I added the fucking in there, but I meant that because you cooked. Also, hello. Welcome in, friggin' witch. And Alexa said, that's because when you grow up and reflect from an adult point of view, you feel differently. LMAO, come on. Dude, it's funny because I was in a VC, I can't remember if it was like today or yesterday or whatever the fuck. I remember I was talking about this story of something that like happened when I was in high school, of like something weird that like a teacher had said to me. But at the time when I was like in high school, I didn't really think about it being super weird. But now that I'm an adult, I look back on that and I'm like, no, that was a weird thing for a teacher to say to me. So like, I'll give like the short version of the story. So basically, I was in an animation class. My project crashed out a little bit to the point that like it was disrupting the class because it was a silent classroom. So my teacher took me outside. He was like talking to me, trying to get me to calm down. I had been like angrily crying. And first thing he said that kind of like set off a little like, this is weird in my mind, was he said, you shouldn't cry. You look so pretty when you smile. He then later on in the conversation said something along the lines of, oh, if we were in high school at the same time, we would have been friends. As a kid in high school, I looked at that like, okay, well, my teacher was trying to make me feel better when I was upset about something. But now I look at that as an adult, and I'm like, that was actually a very inappropriate thing for a teacher to have said to me as a child. And that was wrong. Like, that's simple. I can look at that now, and I'm like, that's exactly you guys in the chat saying, ew, that's weird. Like, it's gross. It absolutely is gross.
Especially because I know that people do make mistakes and people can learn and grow and change. And one of my biggest mistakes was not listening and addressing things and taking responsibility.
And playing the ukulele.
Yeah, I'm playing that damn ukulele.
You see how Raven turns it into a joke and playing the ukulele. This is so, like, gross to me. They start laughing about it, and I don't even want to show that part because it's just nasty. It's just icky. It's, like, gross to look at, to hear such a serious situation downplayed so heavily. But let me go ahead and skip to the next timestamp in this. We're cooking through this pretty fast, which is good because there is still more stuff to get into with the current day situation. Because believe it or not, somehow this is like coming back up in the worst way and it's affecting one of the victims, and I feel really upset for Adam.
Distracted.
Now, this is a live show. My apologies for never going and seeing the entire thing.
No
but
worries.
if you could explain why there is a clip of YouTube of a little boy eating Cheetos out of your pants. Could you explain that for the audience, please?
Pulling Cheetos. That makes it sound more egregious. Like he's physically eating out of her pants. He wasn't. He was taking one.
Oh,
yeah, that, like, why are we downplaying it? Wait a minute, why are we downplaying it? I'm sorry, what? I think we all got the gist. What do you mean, like, he's not physically, he's grabbing them out of her pants and eating it? Like, are we not, like, what?
he was taking a... See, that's how things get twisted.
Right.
Yeah.
So could you explain it, please?
Well,
What was twisted?
What a crazy thing to hear, that there's a woman on stage and there's a young person taking food out of her pants and eating it on stage. I mean, that's crazy.
It is crazy. So why'd you let it happen? Why did it ever fucking happen? And listen to the piss poor fucking excuse, bro.
A lot of the joke with Miranda was that I would say and do things that were inappropriate or had some sort of sexual innuendo to them or something like that. And it went over
inappropriate.
the character's
Sorry,
head. Like, Miranda was not aware that she was saying something that could be taken the wrong way. That was...
So remember yesterday when I brought up the point that I think people who do characters are just people who would do and say things that they know are wrong and don't want to do it as themselves? Perfect example right here. The Miranda Sings character. She's directly saying, well, I knew this thing was inappropriate, but the whole point of the Miranda character was for her to do things that were inappropriate. Why? Why?
Was a lot of the jokes that I did as the character. And so in that particular part of the show that I did, it was probably 8 to 10 years ago that I used to do that bit. Miranda was teaching the audience how to sneak food into the movie theater. And so I stuffed a big bag of cheese balls in my pants. Now, I was wearing layers of clothing because throughout the show, I put more clothes on over my clothes on stage. When I transitioned from me into Miranda, I, in front of everyone, put on more clothes. So I'm wearing lots of layers of clothing, and then there's the cheese balls in a bag and in my pants. And so initially I would bring up an adult, and I'd start eating the snack as we're, quote unquote, watching this movie. And then I'd say, do you want a snack? And then they would take a cheese ball from the top of the bag and eat it. It was supposed to be like, she doesn't realize how inappropriate this looks. And then, you know, there's a clip, like you said, of when a younger person came on stage and did that with me. And
why did you bring... Do you see how it's just like... What does that change? Dude, Big Porky, thank you. Perfectly put in the sparkles. That doesn't change anything, because it literally doesn't. It doesn't change a single thing. You still did the action. Your excuses right now are not so like helping your case, even in the slightest bit. Not even in the most minute little fraction of a centipede's toe, bro. Is this helping?
the audience is laughing because, and you could see my reaction like this.
Oh, and I would have clocked that. We got Amethyst Amarante in the chat who said, I never saw her bring up an adult for that bit, but there's definitely clips of multiple different young people being brought up.
This is a weird situation that I'm in here, but it got a big laugh and everyone knew that it wasn't just, and this is me trying to, rationalize, that's the word, yes, rationalize the situation. But shortly after, I'd say within a year of doing that joke, I cut it because I was like, I think this
within a year of doing that joke, you what?
Cut it, I stopped doing it.
Okay.
Because it was, my fans were, a lot of them were younger at this point, so I was like, I'm not gonna, obviously this joke is, it's not, I'm not gonna do this anymore.
So you self-admit that joke's not appropriate for young people, but involved young people in it previously. What a scumbag. Oh my God. How can you even be that person, bro? It's just so actually mind-boggling. And it somehow actually does get worse. If you think that was the worst story, no.
That are consenting and know that this is the joke, that Miranda doesn't understand that this could look bad.
So you have admitted to sending lingerie to an underage fan. And I know you've talked about this before.
Where in the world, bitch? When in the fucking history of ever would that be something acceptable? There is no excuse in the world. Whatever she's about to say is bullshit, but wait till you fucking hear it.
But I would like to ask you one more time to address this and kind of what happened and how you're feeling about it now.
Yeah, what an idiot, is how I feel about it now. I think it was like 10 years ago, something like that. I was doing a live stream and I always loved giving away gifts to my fans online. So I would send them like a bobby pin of Miranda's or a lipstick of Miranda, an old shirt, Usually it was to encourage them to donate to a charity event that I would do every year. But I loved...
Notice that she tries to put charity in it to try to act like it's like a good thing. Like she's like gotta put those like little seeds of like doubt in your head that she's definitely not this bad person that you're thinking she is.
Giving out stuff. And so I was doing a live stream like I did pretty often, and I was opening up a box of clothes that I had bought, and in it was this underwear bra set that I didn't order, and it was we were all laughing about it. So everyone in the chat was laughing about it, me and my friend, and he actually put it on over his clothes and was like, look at this, and we were laughing about it. And there are people in the comments saying, oh, send that to me, send that one to me. And we were like, we're not gonna do that, that's crazy. But then there was one fan in particular who kept asking us to send it, and I was like,
So you're gonna blame a fan who's clearly a younger person who is just gonna want like a piece of memorabilia from you regardless of what it is? So you're
obviously you can tell in the live, I'm hesitant about it because there is a little bit of brains in there somewhere that was like, maybe not, because I hesitated. But then I was like, and I didn't send it. I didn't. But then it just became an inside joke with the fandom, and everyone was like telling me to send it, and he kept asking for it. It was like months of this. And so finally I did, and it was very public and as a joke. And it was like a part of my brain was missing.
What's funny? Can anybody tell me, I know people are like, oh yeah, humor, is it subjective or objective, whatever the fuck it is. But what's funny? Can anybody find the punchline? Can anybody like miraculously like piece together like the dots for me and find me the punchline of what's funny about sending lingerie to a random fan who just happens to also be underage? Can anyone figure that out? I'm looking for it. I'm fucking Sherlock Holmesing it over here with a goddamn fucking magnifying glass, trying to look for the fine print of where the hell this bitch is funny at. Now, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit further because she goes on about this situation for a minute, but as you can see, it's just no accountability being taken. And there is like a couple more timestamps in here I want to get through before we get moving on to the current day stuff.
That's cute.
Reds.
Something else, Colleen, that has come up and been discussed is the fact that you would participate in group chats with your fans, and there were minors in those chats, and there would be questions regarding their virginity and sex positions.
Right.
Inappropriate questions are being asked to underage people. What was going on?
That's true. It's completely inappropriate. And
What else do you have to say other than I'm sorry I fucked up? No, that's not what she's gonna say, unfortunately.
I used to do this weekly question and answer thing with my audience. And that particular group chat was full of a bunch of different fans of all ages.
I gotta pause really quickly because Annie Rita Gonzalez, it's been a long time since the situation happened, so it would be hard for me to like super fact check this, but I'll read this out as you wrote it. Annie Rita Gonzalez said, Adam actually commented on how ugly the set is on Twitter, and she eagerly sent it to him, and even commented how his mom would be upset and ban him from watching her. Now that's another fucking added layer. If you have any like screenshots or if you can find any proof of that and could send it to me so I could show it on stream, that'd be awesome. If not, it is old, so I know it is hard to find shit. And Alexis said Annie's right. Yeah, I've seen a couple other people saying she was lying about that, so. Ali Sky said, wait, what is happening? I just came in. Hi, welcome in. We're covering, I don't know if you remember Colleen Ballinger, Miranda Sings, and the allegations that happened with her, but she is recently trying to come back, and she's been doing live shows in New York City, like a cabaret kind of set, just like short little comedy shows. So in that, before she even started doing the live show, she did this promotion over at Tea Time with Raven and her wife Miranda, Raven Simone, and we're running through some of the things that she said because it's going to actually kind of lead up to some of the stuff going on currently with one of the victims, Adam, and Colleen's sister Rachel. So hopefully that caught you up just a little bit. If you do want, you can always hit back the replay gang and you'll catch up to us at some point.
But they were crass and funny and ridiculous, and they would, whenever I asked for questions for my channel, they would ask me questions like that. They would ask me questions they knew I wouldn't answer, that were over the top, inappropriate. So when one of them, which this part of the conversation is now deleted, those parts of the conversations are deleted or gone or somehow, I don't know, but when they asked for questions for theirs, I was trying to do the same jokes that they had just previously been doing with me. Stupid. And
John Puntillo said, how much for a blinker? I don't have a blinker, but I can take a rip, but I just can't do it on screen. But if you send a 20, I'll hit that.
Inappropriate, shouldn't have done it. I feel really embarrassed and stupid. And
Did you know they were underage at the time?
I knew that there were teenagers in the chat. Yeah, I did know that. And I also thought, well, they all know I'm not serious. I don't.
Why? Dude, I'm watching this and I'm literally just like, why? Like, it's almost just so upsetting, and I've never wanted to like rip the hair out of my head and punch a hole in my wall harder than her literally saying, well, I knew there was teenagers in there and I was saying sexual things, but it's fine because I thought they all just knew I was joking. What does it matter, bro? Like, what is so actually wrong with you? I have never heard something just so like heinous, like, and narcissistic being like, yeah, I absolutely knew, but like, they all knew me. It's not a big deal. So downplay of this situation, just so gross and nasty. And this is you trying to redeem yourself before your fucking tour? God damn, piss poor redemption, bitch.
I don't want the.
Oh, Alexa said she DM'd me a clip. Okay, let me full screen myself really quickly and let me run over to Discord and let me grab this before we get too off that topic because it's still super relevant. Here, let's check this out. 1 minute in. Okay. It's only a 5-minute video, so this one's short. Just a quick intermission talk. This will give us like a little bit of insight on the whole Adam situation and the lingerie being sent to him.
Until she decided to make a joke of sending Adam lingerie, who, by the way, was only 13 years old at the time.
Your Twitter account is making me laugh so much. I want to send him something. Do you want the bra, Adam?
Let me turn this down a little bit because it's a little bit loud. But bitch, are you fucking joking? Are you fucking joking?
You want the bra and panties? Tweet right now.
Okay, maybe he'll want the panties. Although then his parents will be like, you're not allowed to watch who is sending you panties.
So you knew it was wrong. So what the actual, oh my God, I'm gonna snap, bitch. I'm gonna snap.
You guys, the worst part is she actually ended up sending the lingerie to him.
My mom kept it. I didn't even see these because my mom had just taken them away because she was so shocked. So this was what I was sent. I hate touching it. These, I don't know which way they go, but these as well.
What made things even more embarrassing was that she even decided to mention the lingerie in front of his parents at one of her shows.
And this is the same Miranda who, by the way, when asked if any of the parents had any issues with anything that happened, she said no. Like, all the parents found the jokes really funny.
That Adam attended.
In her live stream, she said she wanted to send me her lingerie. She hugged me and we were talking and she was like, I'm so sorry I didn't bring your lingerie. And my parents were right behind me, so thanks for that, Colleen.
Anyways, after this, the relationship between them got even messier. Earlier this year, Colleen noticed that her Miranda Sings persona was dying out a bit, and so she needed someone to help her fix it. And, well, Adam was the one she turned to for advice.
Oh, so that's, yeah, so we kind of went into that already a little bit when he ended up taking over the channel, so we covered that part, but yeah, so there we go. We got the straight answer from Adam himself. He didn't ask for it. She offered. But she's gonna lie and say he asked for it, was begging for it, was dying for it.
The answers to these questions, they all know that I'm just joking around like they do this to me, and they know I'm not going to answer the questions. I know they don't want the answers. You know, like, I thought, like, this was, you know, it was clear between all of us that, like, I was joking. I didn't actually want this information from this person. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny to ask a really absurd, crazy...
What the hell? Why does she... I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Bitch, you think everything's funny. You ever heard a funny joke in your goddamn life? You probably just be hee-hee-haw-hawing up at Subway fucking asking for every fucking ingredient on your sandwich. Everything's a joke to you, bitch. Go fuck yourself.
Question. And there were a bunch of questions I asked. Those were just a few of the awful ones that I did. And I very much... I should have never done that. That was crazy of me.
It wasn't in a grooming fashion.
Absolutely not. It was in a stupid fashion.
I've done some dumb things in my life. Really stupid, dumb mistakes in my life. Never in my idiotic life would I think to make a mistake like this. This isn't a mistake. It had intent. You literally said you wanted him to get in trouble with his mom. You knew what kind of person you were doing that. You knew how that would be perceived. And you're icky. Icky, icky, icky.
It was like I shouldn't...
For the
like,
laugh?
For the laugh. I thought it would make them laugh. I thought they'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Ha ha ha. Like how they did with me often. They were very funny, that group chat.
No one's ever ha ha ha'd at you. Don't lie to me, bitch.
Out of all these different fans, they're very funny, very dedicated, wonderful people.
So you were being one of the kids.
Yeah, right.
And you had forgotten.
Yeah,
so
right.
You were acting more like one of your kid viewers.
This is the same woman who earlier in this interview, by the way, said that she didn't think that it would make sense to really tailor her content towards kids because of the fact that she knew that Miranda Sings was always an adult character. So she didn't really think that it mattered to tailor her content to kids. And now you're going to ask her this question that's directly contradicting to give her another out.
Right.
You were acting more like one of your kid viewers versus remembering that you were actually the adult in the chat.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And that lends itself to the power dynamic that you had referenced earlier, where you kind of had lost.
Lock her up then. Lock her up then. If you can't, in your adult mind, separate yourself from a child, you deserve to be locked up. In my opinion. Professional opinion. Professional on what? I don't know. This now.
The awareness of that relationship or dynamic.
There was no part of me that was wanting that information truly from them. I wasn't trying to get anything out of them. I was just trying to be like one of them, which is embarrassing to admit because...
Psych Draws in the chat said, of course a bunch of kids think that an adult making raunchy jokes is funny, like their peer treating them like an equal. It's like literally like you're saying you're making fart jokes or like sex jokes to a bunch of 13-year-olds who like inherently do that with their friends. You're trying to act like them. That's just so... I'm fucking fed up.
That was not my responsibility in that time. I was trying to be silly like them and be their friend, when in reality I was the one who's supposed to be the responsible one. I was the adult there that should have never participated in that conversation and should have never joked with them about that kind of stuff.
No.
There's the power dynamic there, that parasocial relationship that I wasn't thinking about, which was irresponsible.
How'd you figure that out,
like,
Sherlock? How the fuck did you finally figure that out? Like, holy goddamn. Oh god. No, this part might be one of arguably the worst parts of this.
Let's talk about JoJo for a second. So we know JoJo. You know JoJo. You became friends with her when she was how old?
I first met JoJo, I think she was 11 when I met her and her mom for dinner, because JoJo was a fan, and she and another girl from the Dance Moms show wanted to meet me, so I went to dinner with them.
Some people will say that that was an inappropriate friendship for you two to develop since she was 11 and you were an adult.
Yeah.
But thoughts, feelings?
Yeah, I mean...
Everyone should say that. If you don't say that, I look at you differently.
I didn't look at it as a friendship at first. She was 11.
Yeah. And
I looked at it as a sweet young girl. I loved the show she was on, and she liked my videos and looked up to me, and she wanted to meet me. And to me, I wasn't looking at it as like becoming best friends with her when I met her. It was just a sweet meeting. And then she's a hustler. You guys know JoJo? She immediately was like, well, I had a video called Colleen's Corner that I answered questions every week. So she did JoJo's Juice to do the same kind of, she kind of looked at me as like a mentor, someone.
So someone that looked at you as a mentor. Oh, wait, by the way, you guys know that she talked about like sexual themes in front of her? Oh yeah, in case you didn't know that.
She looked up to, and I don't want to speak for JoJo though. It feels weird talking about this without her here, but she can say this herself if she wants. But so over time,
you're asking somebody who was a minor at the time to speak about how they felt about like when they were 11, now that they're an adult. This is why I hate how predatory these industries are, bro.
And we became friends because she was such a hustler. She'd want to collaborate, and so we'd get together and make videos together.
Which was also very common for YouTubers and fellow people in the world to want to collaborate and get to know each other, feed off each other's videos.
Right. So yes, we became friends, but it always felt more like a family thing because I'm a big family person. Like, I love my family. I'm always with my family. We're always hanging out. We're always having family gatherings. And I think that...
You talk about sexual shit with your family members?
Again, I don't want to speak for her, but, she liked to come over to our family gatherings and hang out with my family where we'd be playing games. And you know, eating pizza with my parents, and sometimes her mom and her brother would come, or dad. Like, it was a very family.
They're a big family. The Siwas are a big
and,
family.
you know, and my brother and
too.
all his kids were there. So he's got 6 kids, and they'd all be there, and we'd all be playing. The kids would be putting on performances, and we'd all be laughing.
yeah,
and
let's
so
just
it always
downplay
felt
it
very
all, like
sisterly friends. And yes, now that she's older, and I would definitely consider her one of my close friends, and I love her dearly, and I admire her so much. I think she's incredible. I was very involved with talking with her mother all the time and making sure her mom knew when we were hanging out, and her mom was like, I'm friends with her mom. I love Jess.
Yeah.
That's all very shocking to me that people.
So does being friends with her, like, it's just like, just because her mom let fucked up shit happen, we're supposed to be cool with it?
People look at us being friends as, I mean, I guess it makes sense considering the allegations that have come up against me, but I think JoJo's amazing, and she's like a sister to me, and I'll stand by that forever. There's nothing weird or inappropriate about our friendship or our relationship. She is amazing. She's my sister,
for you
and
to
I have a
judge,
sister,
huh?
and she's like a sister to her as well. And JoJo doesn't have a sister, and she's excited that now she calls us her sister. So yeah, it's never been a weird or inappropriate thing.
Even though YouTube is a community of non-celebrity and celebrity people coming together and uploading videos, it has become an industry of its very own.
Totally. Yes.
And within an industry of entertainment, which is what YouTube is now, people are going to interact of all different backgrounds and all different ages. And there are so many YouTube kids that are not on YouTube because they're doing it themselves. They have their parents there with them. And we know Jess as well. We know the family. There will never, ever be a time where Jess is not aware of what JoJo is doing.
Yeah.
And
What about when she was over at her house alone? What are you on about?
I want to keep people aware that we really do have to be careful in how we throw stones at people when we don't know the entire story. When there is a culture within the entertainment industry that not a lot of people understand.
Bitch, we don't want to understand it. The culture within the entertainment industry, we all know what that shit is. We all seen what happened to Justin Bieber. We've heard about your coworkers from Disney Channel or people on Nickelodeon. That when they were young kids, the things that have happened to them. Drake Bell. We've seen situations of these people where the things happen to them and they go on to do it themselves. Drake Bell. Why are you... It's so crazy to me. Why are you excusing the gross shit that happens in the industry? Just being like, oh, well, it's part of the industry. Wow, you're gross. Ow, you're fucking nasty. But let me go ahead and continue on with this because I just had to show that one fucking part. Well, okay. I would genuinely keep going with this, but the rest of this is honestly just Colleen talking about how this has affected her as a person, how she's changing and going to therapy and going to better herself. And then they ask about how, like, she's going to explain it to her children in the future, and she doesn't even really give, like, a straight answer. She kind of just says that, well, that's why I'm glad I'm doing interviews like this, and then goes on, like, some, like, long tirade where then she eventually starts crying at the end of it, and I'm like, bitch, stop trying to victimize yourself. But we got more to get into with this. So, like I said, this was all to prop up her going on to do these like cabaret shows that she went on to do in New York City. So it recently came out through Adam McIntyre that okay, actually even before that, I'm pretty sure this happened first, if I'm correct. It either happened first or after, but we're gonna get into both situations because they're all currently ongoing. First things first, that I'm correct of, Adam found out that while he was invited as like a sponsored creator to VidCon, so was Rachel Ballinger, which the issue with that is that for VidCon, if you get invited as a featured creator, you can invite a +1. And so because of that, people were automatically assuming that the +1 that he was going to invite would be Colleen. So here's the video where he talks about first finding out about this situation and what he has to say about Rachel being put on as a creator, as a featured creator.
call, they said to me, you know, VidCon like to have a bunch of different creators, and I acknowledge that. Sometimes they have creators who, you know, don't align. I acknowledge that. And they ultimately said to me, you know, VidCon creators often, you know, clash. I said yes. And they said that we acknowledge that you have feuds with, you know, some of these creators about, you know, the Ballingers. And I was trying to say to them, I was like, okay, but this is not a feud. Like, you booking me and then booking the Ballingers is not booking someone I have a feud with. It's like, sorry, honestly, I don't give a fuck. You're booking people that, like, as a fucking child were fucking grooming me until I was about to be a fucking adult, and then they...
What's a feud? What's beef about that? I don't really understand. And I think the VidCon even trying to get away with this and being like, oh, we know you got beef. It's all good, though. Don't even worry about it.
I hate that these people still piss me off. I hate that these people still piss me off. I mean, again, I really appreciate the call that I had. It was a productive call, and the person was very sweet and very kind. And again, ultimately, all this person wants to do is create the best VidCon experience for the fans, and they've been so kind to bring me on. But again, they kept saying to me, you know, we don't want to, you know, pick a side. And
How do you not pick a side in
sorry,
this?
it's like a... I
feel so bad for him watching this.
If you think this is all over the place, imagine what I've been like all day. Because I have signed up to an event where I now know that the Ballingers are going to. Great. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I signed up.
Yeah, and that's kind of the gist of what he says there, but I will say, so some good news came from this. So when he went on to put this video out, a lot of people, especially like his fan base, came to fight for him extremely, extremely hard. And so VidCon initially put out a statement, and they did announce that Rachel was no longer going to be invited to VidCon, and they came out to say, VidCon celebrates the diverse communities at the heart of the digital media ecosystem. Listening to community feedback is essential to ensuring a welcoming, fun, and inclusive experience for everyone. We've updated our lineup to reflect these values and deliver another great event. And so with that, Adam also put out a statement on his Instagram that reads, after further discussions with the team at VidCon, I can now confirm that I will officially be attending this year's convention. I also want to thank VidCon for listening to the concerns raised by both myself and the community, and for taking action in response to those concerns. I appreciate them making the decision to remove the creator involved and prioritize keeping the weekend positive, professional, and enjoyable for everybody attending. I'm genuinely so excited for all of my meetups, panels, events, and getting to spend the weekend with you guys. Thank you to everyone who supported me and spoke up over the last few days. I truly appreciate it more than I can explain. Now let's move on, enjoy the weekend, and make this one the best VidCon yet. And I hope so. Is VidCon this weekend or was it last weekend? Wait, when was VidCon? When is VidCon? 2026. June 25th to 27th. Wait, it's the weekend following this weekend. I don't know why. I knew it was in June at some time, but hopefully he does have a good time at VidCon. I think he really deserves that. But now we gotta get into the gross ass shit that Rachel had to say after finding out that she was removed from VidCon. Because of course she had some shit to say. She couldn't help herself. So let me go ahead and...
Because it's bullshit.
Let me full screen the... It's kind of weird on TikTok to like full screen shit, so let me just figure this out really quickly. How do I full screen? I guess there's no full screen because it's like a sideways video? I don't know. I've never seen this. It's like weird. You'll see when I'm showing it to you guys. So if you can't really see her that well, just know that this is Colleen's sister, Rachel.
Ass and lower, right? Because it's bullshit. And my views that's nothing new, baby boo. I am very used to it. My views have been going down for years now, ever since my sister was falsely accused of some really nasty things. Yes, parasocial relationship was happening, but the big shit she was accused of, fuck that. And people still hate me for supporting her, which is absurd. Anyway, that aside, my views have been going ass and low.
Your views have been going down. Girl, what? Girl, what? Like, who gives a fuck? Nobody gives a shit about your views. You don't give a shit about victims. Anywho, so that's clearly what she had to say. And the interesting thing about this, though, too, is, you know, Colleen, who's trying to be on this, like, apology tour, supposedly, has never asked her sister to stop the odd, offensive position that she takes and continues to do a podcast with her. Also, something interesting that I wanted you guys to know about Colleen's live performance that she's doing. A lot of people have been heavily criticizing her about the use of AI, and we could get really into the use of AI from her performance, but I feel like it's been beaten to death. But you know what I think is really important to bring up? That she is dressed up as Miranda Sings, playing Toxic Gossip Train during those live performances. So she clearly still thinks that's funny. Clearly, it was just a meme for her. It was never meant to be a real apology. She knew that later on in life when she continued making internet content, because she never took a real break. It was only 6 months before she started posting on her vlog channel. But she tries to act like it was longer because she's not posted on Miranda Sings. That's the real tea. But anywho. So, I'm just saying. Clearly, it was just a fucking meme to her. So, Adam... This is the current situation going on, and I will be updating you guys as this is currently ongoing. So Adam got reached out to be a part of this documentary about what Colleen has done, and he shared his feelings on it in this video here. So we'll watch his reaction to this. And I'm gonna let you guys know I'm definitely gonna go at least 30 minutes over today because I want to get into the Pearadise reaction today as well. And I think that this will probably end up going until 5. So expect me to go till like 5:30, 6 o'clock. But let's go ahead and jump right into his reaction to this documentary guy. And I don't blame him for what he says here. I think it makes a lot of fucking sense. But when you see what the fucking guy who's making the documentary goes on to fucking like say and do to Adam, it's so fucking strange. So let's go ahead and hit this.
A month ago, I got reached out to by a documentary crew to be a part of a documentary about Colleen Ballinger. And I read it a month ago, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. Okay, actually, my mom hasn't texted me, so I'm sure I can go a little bit more in depth. But I do want to talk about this more in depth in future. I went, nope, 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 nope. A month ago, reached out to, hey, we're doing this documentary, and like, major developer. And I read it, and I went, nah. What's more left to say? Stick with me here. What is more left to say?
The situation has been beaten to death. It's been covered by every major YouTube commentary channel for like since it happened. You know, there's been deep dives on it. Every single person who's come out as a victim has either done a public or anonymous interview.
You want me to be a part of a documentary about what Colleen Ballinger did in 2026? No. Now stick with me. I called my mom and I was like, what do you think of this? And my mom was like, well, what are you thinking? And I was like, why would I do this? Why is there a documentary being made about this in 2026? Not only do we have the SWIP documentary, but with all due respect, and I will speak exclusively about me here, like my story, who cares? Sorry. I'm talking about me here. Who fucking cares? What has been said has been said. We don't need another documentary on it.
For him to say the same shit he's already said in multiple interviews and multiple people's documentaries, I agree with that. Like, I hate the thing about, like, big documentary makers now trying to jump on, like, old YouTube beef. You know what I see coming up? A documentary on the fucking, what's it called? The Dramageddon shit that happened between Tati Westbrook and James Charles. That'll definitely be coming up because his career is dried up. I wouldn't say hers is fully dried up. She still gets like 700 viewers on her live stream to this day just doing makeup products. So she's doing all right. But I'm telling you, that's happening.
I don't need another documentary on it. I don't need, nobody needs, the world does not need another Colleen Ballinger expose. And I was like, nah. So I didn't respond, right? Then I get a follow-up. And I'm like, oh, they're really determined. I ignore it. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm just ignoring it. I go to TwitchCon. the director or the executive producer or whatever DMs me on Instagram. Hey, blah, 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 blah. Don't know if you saw our email. Here's what we're doing. My mom said, go ahead. I won't say it all because I don't. This is so, you have no idea what is going on behind the scenes right now. It's like, oh, there's so many people pissing me off to do with this. Director, executive producer, whatever, reaches out to me and goes, hey, I don't know if you saw our message, but we're doing this documentary by Colleen Ballinger.
Why are they pressing him?
Let's go on a call. And I go, nah, I respond, I'm gonna read you my message.
See, T-Bree in the chat said Loki will watch the fuck out of a Dramageddon doc. I'm surprised that hasn't been done already. That was like one of the biggest things that YouTube's ever seen.
Message. I'm gonna read you my message. I'm not gonna read theirs, but I'll read mine, okay? Where are you? I don't know if this is the director. I don't know if this is, I don't know what the deal is. So I'm only gonna read my response, okay? So they DM'd me 13th of May, 14th of May, 20th of May, and then on Monday. And then I was like, this has to end. I go, hi, sorry for the delay. I've been traveling. Bullshit. Why are you, the world does not need another documentary on Colleen Ballinger. I don't think this is something I would be interested in doing any interviews for, as I feel like I've said enough, especially with the Swift documentary. But thank you so much for reaching out. Again, I don't want to read anyone's messages. But they basically responded and they were like, ooh, this is so difficult. They basically said to me, you know, we understand that you would feel this way. However, a YouTube documentary is much different than what we're gonna do. And I was like,
what's that supposed to mean? Like, I hate when they do that, where they try to discredit, like, commentary YouTubers and, like, the work that they put in. Like, if you guys have ever seen Swoop's documentary on the situation, best documentary to put together the entire, like, beginning. Like, when I was, like, giving you guys, like, a sum up of the beginning of, like, how this all began, you want the real, like, details, want all the tea, go watch Swoop's 4-part documentary, because she put in the work. And a lot of these YouTubers are, like, they either have their own editors or they're, like, paying people to edit. It's, like, it's good fucking content, and I hate when just because they get these, like, big budgets, they're gonna act like it's better and well made just because you can put, like, the Egyptian documentary music behind it and do dramatic cutscenes of, like, panning to people's feet and shit doesn't mean that it's better, buddy.
One person I'm gonna go to bat for is Swib. And so they send this entire thing. Let me know, let's go on a call. Nothing major, just let's say hi, let's whatever. And I go, thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. I just think at this current stage in my life, this is not something I even feel comfortable being a part of. But again, thank you for reaching out. So that was all well and good, right? This was all well and good. Until I get a message from someone involved in this story who was like, let's do this together.
And wait
no, it wasn't
till
Johnny.
You see.
No. It wasn't Cody, but I'm not gonna go any further. Hey bro, let's do this together. We're in this together. No, we're not. We're not in this together. There is no need. There is no need for any of this to be happening. I am so against this. You know why I'm against this? I don't deserve this. Becky and Oliver don't deserve this. Swip doesn't deserve this disrespect. And you know who I'm gonna say something here. And again, try not to judge me and try to understand my experience and fatigue with this over the last 6 years. I don't think Colleen deserves this. Do you know how fatigued I must be of, like, the relay that I would say that? And I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. I really do.
Even he's saying he's done. And you know it's got to take a lot for the victim of somebody to say that she doesn't deserve this. And I think that I give him a lot of credit for that. Now, the next thing I want to jump and grab, hold on, let me go back to this, because I thought I had the screenshot of it ready to go, but I know it's in this video. I've got over here ready for me, if not. Let's go ahead and grab it. So on that video, he gets a comment that is left by Josh. And if you guys don't remember who Josh is the ex-husband of Colleen. All right, so let me go ahead and read the comment that Josh left on the video. As Adam, I just watched this and honestly, I'm really disappointed by the way you chose to approach this whole thing. You know damn well people knew exactly who you were talking about. You presented the entire documentary situation with a lot of anger and certainty despite not having the full context, and then encouraged a negative reaction from your audience. What makes it even more frustrating is that I genuinely wanted to talk with you about it beforehand and get your perspective. I reached out to you and you never responded. If you had, you'd know I had plenty of doubts and concerns myself. Yes, I was excited about the possibility of this becoming something positive, but nothing is finalized and I never treated it as a done deal. Let me skip ahead to when the rest of it is. What bothers me the most... Oh, wait, I read that. If you had, you'd know I have plenty of doubts and concerns myself. Yes, I was excited about the possibility of this becoming something positive, but nothing is finalized. I've never treated it as it's a done deal. What bothers me most is that this could have been a conversation. You could have simply replied and said, I think this is a terrible idea, and I would have listened because I respect and value your opinion. Instead, we're here again, and I'm asking you directly, please respond to me, talk to me, not about me, bro. Edit to add, you're literally making content about them right now with thousands of people watching, but they tell others not to. How dare they potentially make a doc? Proceeds to make more videos about the same thing. Only okay for you, I guess. To have such a confident take without even speaking to them. Wow, getting sloppy, and I'm appalled at you, brother. And then there would be these screenshots that were shared. And I saw a couple people talking about this in the comments where Josh puts, see you at VidCon, bro. And the reason that this was a big deal is because these sunflower emotes were apparently used by like Miranda's community as like a signal or something. I don't exactly know what the sunflower means. If anyone wants to give like the direct translation in the chat, I've seen a couple of you say it, but it threw me off a little bit. So I guess we're going to see how this ends up developing between Josh and Adam. And I know yesterday, 15 hours ago, it's probably a little bit longer than that now, but Adam had put out another video talking about Josh. So I will link that down below in case you guys want to check it out for yourself and get like the full scoop of everything going on, because that's where we're going to leave off with this for today. I'm also going to close out this poll that I have up, and it looks like I will be doing the horror game stream this Saturday, which works for me because then tomorrow we can focus on like Love Island and the movie that we got to do. All right, so let's go ahead and start getting into I'm not going to pull up like screenshots or anything from the actual documentary itself, but I'm going to give you guys a little rundown of my thoughts on the Pearadise documentary. But before I do that, I just want to offer, if you guys have any questions or anything you want to ask, you know the drill, just let me know now. And wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who's dropped a like on today's episode. I can't actually see how many likes there are because my phone has been glitching crazily. But thank you guys. If you have dropped a like for it, I do appreciate y'all. Oh, wait. Apparently, on bus last night, Tech was there, but Stefan didn't even sit next to him. He just sat in the back eating. That's hilarious. I do have a couple timestamps from bus, so we might get into a little. If you guys, do you guys want to react to a little bit of stuff from what happened with bus? Because I know they supposedly went and did like, I guess, the Pearadise meetup. Just drop a 1 in the chat if you want to react to bus today. Drop a 2 in the chat if you're not feeling it, and just let me know where you guys are at. But as far as this Pearadise documentary goes, so it definitely threw me off a little bit. Definitely threw me off. Oh, Big Porky said, Zay, why is it so hot out? I don't know, but it was humid as fuck. I walked home from the gym today and I was sweaty as hell. Sweaty like a motherfucker. All right, I see a sea of 1s. You guys want the reaction, so we'll definitely hit that. Okay, so my reaction to the Pearadise documentary so far. Episode 1, not even a joke, could literally just be skipped entirely. All it does is give you like background information about Pearadise, which I feel like a lot of us already know from like what we heard in the LCU, and like low-key it's not that much different. Like the first part really doesn't, it almost like you're like going into it in the first episode, you're like, okay, well, like they're all like consenting adults and they all agreed, like said that they consented to this, so like where does it get bad? Oh no. Then you watch episode 2 and it gets fucking bad. So apparently it's beyond just non-consensual touching. The allegations go as far as rape, which is absolutely insane. And not just that there's a video of said accusation that he shows to people who go to the house, which is like the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. Not just that, apparently he has unconsensually injected somebody with a form of like ancient birth control. It's absolutely insane to watch episode 2. Then you hear the heartbreaking story of Cass and what happened with her. Her getting so deep into like this fetish and then falling to like health conditions. It's just honestly a heartbreaking documentary on episode 2. It was a rough watch for a lot of the people in the VC, and I think myself included. I did say it there, and I will say it here for anybody who watched that and does have any like feelings about anything, like, and you need somebody to talk to and you don't have someone to talk to, please feel free to reach out to me, because it was very heavy, and I know that could be triggering or could bring up a lot of feelings for some of you guys. So if you need somebody, my DMs are truly always open. Yeah, that shit was actually just so gross. I'm not gonna lie, so fucking nasty. But we're gonna be watching episode 3 tonight, and I don't want to form my full opinion until I've seen the entire documentary. As of right now, I believe that we should use the Anthill Kids cult method of stringing him up to the roof and plucking out each one of his body hairs one by one. But that's just me. Shrazamil said, I don't know where to watch it. What I did was, if you want to watch it for free, there's a website called Philo. If you go to Philo, you can get a 7-day trial to watch it. For free, but make sure you cancel it because the subscription service is $25 a month. Excuse me. Sorry, I needed some of that water. I had to wet my whistle. All right, let me go ahead and jump to where I have these bus timestamps ready to go. So we can get into the reaction of some of that, because I know you guys said you definitely wanted to see that. Oh, shit. Alright, let me go ahead, copy this over here. Beep, boop, boop. And then let me copy my timestamp so it's not just randomly in my Discord, so I can just pull it up off the Google Doc. Alrighty. Sorry for the dead air. This is probably the longest point of dead air you will ever hear in my stream. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into this. So, we are starting 14 minutes into the stream. So the title of this stream is Bus Arrives at Pearadise. Not gonna lie, I haven't watched any LCU. Don't know why Tech Protects at Pearadise. Don't know how we got to this point. I just feel so bad for Foxy for the way that this situation has been handled. And Foxy, you deserve so much better if someone so happens to send you this clip.
Didn't get to explain, but the other side got to explain their side, and, you know, Pao got to sit there and lie through her teeth and say that she was Cass's best friend. Like, immediately, the whole room here exploded. It's like, you know, what the actual fuck?
Wait, why do you say that?
Pao is not Cass's best friend.
What makes you say that?
Cass came to me multiple times and said Pao is a shitty friend, or was a shitty friend, and she walked away from Pao because Pao constantly tried to coerce her into making videos claiming that I S8'd her, or like that I mistreated her.
Do you have proof of this, buddy, or are you just making the claim? You seem to make a lot of claims with zero proof.
Pao and Avocado both were not good friends to Cass. Their reaction to Cass's attempt was to give her sex and alcohol. any good friend would have actually cared for her. They would have, like, you know, figured something out that would be, like, you know, soothing to the soul, and not douse it with alcohol and have a party and bring dudes over.
So what I heard was that was about.
Can I ask a question? Why do they have Tech Protect at Pearadise if he's just sitting in the backyard on a hammock while this guy's inside? Like, what? I guess they were together at first, and then they didn't want to get close to each other. I don't know. Shit's hella weird. Shit's really weird.
A month after the incident, and now that's the second time that you've brought that up, that's how they treated her after it, making it seem like it's something they did the very next day.
I mean, not the immediate next day, but, like, you know, Cass, they were not friends. Cass and Audrey were close friends at a time when Cass wanted nothing to do with Pau. She came to me multiple times in 2024, 2 years after any of this. She came to me and said, like, yeah, like, these bitches, I'm done with them. All they're trying to do is rope me into fucking drama, and they've been trying to coerce me multiple times to make videos. And I told them, I don't want none of your bullshit. I still care about you, despite the fact that she had a boyfriend and she had, like, you know.
The fact that this motherfucker, by the way, did he literally make a fucking shitty ass t-shirt for the documentary? Like, he's just so gross.
Romantically, things had moved on and separated. But look at it logically. She came back to my house in 2024, and she told me that. And she also said that Avocado, there was a bad breakup. Like, she went to Michigan, and then she even left clothes at Avocado's house that she wanted nothing to do with her. Like, she literally abandoned a bag of clothes at Avocado's house and did not care to have Avocado send them back to her or anything. It was bad. It was really, really bad. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you lying through your teeth? She can't defend herself.
So this is what got you the most upset about.
And who's to say you're not lying through her teeth? Like, you're also speaking on her name, and she's not here to speak up for herself. So, like, just saying, you're doing the same thing you're calling out people for doing.
The entirety of the docuseries is that Pau called Cass her best friend.
No, it got the whole room upset, because there are people here that, like, were really close to Cass and were actually here.
So you said you didn't get to say your side about Cass. So now that you have the floor, immediately after, what is your side that didn't get to be seen?
Yeah, I'd love to know. Clock that shit, Foxy.
All the videos, like, all the screenshots of how Piggy treated Cass. Piggy made fake accounts. She made accounts.
Yeah. Right.
With the groomer, right? Cass, the motherfucking groomer? Called her a groomer? Calling an actual SA victim a groomer over and over, and going in and doubling down and making public videos, multiple videos about her, claiming that Cass's role, Cass's purpose in this house was to bring in underage girls, full on lie.
But I want to be clear here. Just because she's a victim doesn't mean that she can't have done shit herself. Because a lot of what they were talking about in the documentary, that she was the one bringing out a lot of the girls. She would even bring guys into the house to have sex with some of the girls. So it's kind of like, yeah, just because she's a victim doesn't mean that she was innocent either, you know?
Me to forcefully intoxicate, full on blatant lie, and then rape, full on blatant lie. Sorry, R word, full on blatant lie. That's what Piggy did to Cass. She said that. I have recordings of that. And screenshots of her going on Cass's account, on Cass's video, comment after comment after comment, made, and say Cass is a motherfucking groomer, Cass is a groomer, Cass is a groomer. Like, literally, like.
But I'll be real, I don't fuck with the shit that Piggy has done either. I'm not sweeping for her. I think that she has turned, like, a serious situation into a clout grab for herself. But let's go ahead and skip to when he starts talking about some of the more serious allegations. Because I don't want to spend too much time on Bus. This is the part where I'm talking about where Tech is just sitting behind Stefan. Like, it's just, like, what even is this?
So there was a girl that, or I should say a woman. There was a woman on there that described her and Stefan were, like, you know, making out, getting it on, whatever. And she said that he slipped something inside of her down there. And she said, what was that? And he said it was a kitty treat, which later we found out is a spermicide that he inserted into her. And she ultimately had an allergic reaction, had to go to the ER or the urgent care, and that's how.
Look at this fucking hobgoblin over here,
like, she found out what it was.
Right. I mean, the fact that she had an allergic reaction was new to me. I mean, if that was the regret part, then she regretted using it. But, like,
if that was the regret, bro, it's the way he talks about shit that's so girl. I didn't know she had an allergic reaction. Doesn't matter. You're like literally trying to, like, skate around the fact that you did something unconsensually. So gross.
Like, I'm trying to dig out the screenshot really quick.
What is your response to that? Do you have anything you want to say about that?
It's 100%, 1,000% complete bullshit. Like, you know, tell me, please, how would you possibly use birth control against somebody's will, and the next day you get a screenshot from the person, like a chat from the person herself, raving and being happy and telling you how good it was? So she couldn't bring the R word because I have a screenshot proving that it was good, that she enjoyed it and she wanted more.
That's not what we're talking about.
like literally, thank you, Foxy, because that's not what they're talking about. That's literally not what they're talking about.
We're talking about the spermicide, right?
Yes. Yes, she needed a reason to she's another recruited victim of piggies. Like, she's part of this whole gang that, like, she, like, all this.
Why would she have said she enjoyed that? Like, what he's saying doesn't even make sense. What's enjoyable about that? Because the story she tells is that she's a bigger lady. She was laying on, like, the couch. I can't remember if she said it was on her back or her side, but she knew he, like, came up behind her and that he was, like, kind of touching her on, like, her bottom area and stuff, and that all of a sudden he put something inside of her. Like, she's a bigger woman. I'm assuming she's not, like, looking to... She's assuming she's comfortable in this place, right? She's not thinking he's gonna shove something inside of her. Like, that's just so, ugh.
All the stories trying to make me look bad, like, most of them are quite literally invented. She needed something. And the story how Heather left the house, complete bullshit. The whole room exploded when Heather told the story how she left the house. She got kicked out.
But your
there was
immediate
another woman. There was another woman on there that actually confirmed, because they asked her what a kitty treat was, and she said it's like on a tampon applicator.
Okay, a kitty treat, it was my fun term to call it, right? If you want to have adult interaction in a hot tub, and the lady is not on birth control, you have very limited options. One option would be a little insert, which is a little solid thing that dissolves, and you have to wait 10 minutes for it to dissolve, and then it's like a foam that forms, and then it's a spermicide. And another option that was very, very successful and very safe for me was what I called jokingly the kitty treat, which is an applicator. It's a pretty, like, it's like a tampon applicator. It's like a long plastic thing. You stick it in, and you have to push the plunger in order to get the foam inside, and the foam is what protects you. So I had to take this thing, unpack it, show it to her, explain it to her, because it's a weird-looking device. Have her, like, agree, okay.
A tampon applicator, bro? A weird looking device? Like, it's just like, bro's acting like the Plan B pill doesn't exist. Like, condoms don't exist. I guess maybe condoms wouldn't work in a hot tub, but the Plan B pill?
I want to fuck, let's not like let's not censor ourselves, right? We used that thing, we did it, and the next day she was telling me, like, how she was hurting, and I said, girl, like, why are you hurting? Yeah, maybe it was that big dick of yours and I want more.
He's disgusting. This is actually just brought out like a level of rage in me to the point that I need to skip ahead in this or else I'm going to snap. Sorry. If you want to hear more of what he says there, feel free to go watch that if you want to, but I'm sorry. That actually just brought out some extreme fucking rage in me. I'm so fucking angry. That really pissed me pissed me the fuck off. I wouldn't have this much dead air, but that really pissed me the hell off. I hate that they're platforming him as well.
All these allegations come out. Every time it showed up on the documentary, the girls were like, that's not even true. Like, that's not a true statement. This girl's saying that, but I was there. There was one girl who was like, oh, Stefan, how he slapped my butt. Can you believe he slapped my butt that way? And it's like, that girl was the one slapping everyone's butt. That girl was complaining that Stefan slapped her on the butt. But there she is, slapping this girl, and I think she even slapped Stefan's ass.
Yup, keep sweeping, Tack. You look great. God, I'm so glad I don't have to work with these people anymore.
At one point. And she's like, I feel assaulted because he touched my butt. So that's where we're at.
And that's how you feel about the entire docuseries, is that it's pretty much just he said, she said.
Bro, somebody free Foxy. Somebody just free Foxy, bro. This shit is so gross. And it's just like, she does not deserve to have to sit there while her co-host literally sweeps a situation that she was a part of under the rug. Like, granted, obviously, like, her story that she told is not as serious as some of the other ones, but she was still touched without her consent. And has to look at this guy every time they want to bring him up on the screen when fucking Tech Protect wants to do goals to go there. Like, what a piece of shit, bro. Imagine having to work with this fucking tub of lard every fucking day. Look at his disgusting ass, greasy ass fucking face. Fucking can't even goddamn shower.
No, it's not he said, she said. It's, she said, he proved. She claims he has the fucking receipts.
But there's still claims that I have not received. Wait, did you take down we didn't get to see your receipt.
I had a rash to some spermicide. Oh, Stefan, can you do it one more time?
Yeah, we didn't see it.
There it is.
I was like, screen. Okay, so this is the text message, and my back hurts, to be honest. I'm probably going to stay home for the night. LOL, I wonder what happened. You and that big D of yours happened. LOL, you liked it. I didn't say I didn't. Oh, you're muted, Stefan.
Yeah, and then an explicit picture after that. I blinked.
Why are we doing this? Like, what even is this, bro? This is just so, like, what's wrong? Like, I'm so angry watching this. Oh my God.
Out, of course, because I would not want to show that in public.
Right.
There was an explicit photo. You see what I blanked out and read? Like, it was nudity that she sent me.
Yeah, the way it was portrayed on the documentary, she said that, like, you slipped it in her, like someone would slip something in someone's drink. That's how it was portrayed.
Correct.
Of course, because she needs a horror story. She needs a horror story. She needs something that sounds fucking upsetting, like right up there on the lines of our word, but
Are you not thinking that you're just a horror story, buddy? Has that not just come, like, maybe through his mind for 2 seconds? Maybe he's the horror story in all of this? But let's go ahead and skip a little bit more, because the more I watch of this, the more irate I'm getting.
Then that turned into her actually having kids, and then there was some information dropped in the documentary about there being some alleged buying or trying to get your hands on some abortion pills.
Okay.
I want to dive into that, and do you have the screenshots to show after that R-word incident?
I think we are getting deeper into what we've seen from the doc. Hold up. Let me full screen myself really quickly, because some of this, I haven't seen the full doc. I haven't seen the last episode. Yeah, okay, so the rest of the stuff they talk about is actually stuff to do with the 3rd episode. So as much as I do want to finish watching this today, I feel like it wouldn't really make sense for me to watch it without having the context of seeing the episode, if that makes sense. And, like, something like this, I want to have done my due diligence. I hope you guys understand. So the goal is that I want to watch... So we have to watch Wrong Turn in the VC tonight at 7 p.m. So we'll do that tonight, and then we'll do Love Island, and then after that, as long as everybody's cool with it, we'll watch the doc. Yeah, that's the only time that I could think that it'll work, but I need to see more before I continue with this, because I can't talk about a situation that I haven't fully heard all the shit yet for. I would just feel too uninformed to really, like, do it. Strawberry Kisses said it's gonna make you more bad, Zay. It gets so bad. Great. I'm so excited. But yeah, we'll definitely be hitting that tomorrow. So if you guys want to see the end of this, I'll finish the documentary tonight. I think that might be tomorrow's thumbnail. If it ends up being tomorrow's thumbnail, that's what we'll hit first. If it's not tomorrow's thumbnail, then that's what we'll hit second. So I want to know, how are you guys feeling about these episodes so far? I feel like I did almost a full week right now of, like, some commentary vibes. I'm trying to, like, get a theme, like a solid theme of the channel and what it's gonna be. Like, I will occasionally do, like, some stuff here and there, like, different from the norm, but I do want to kind of, like, you know, for the algorithm, it's best to have, like, a channel that's got, like, a theme, an idea to it. So I want to know how you guys feel about, like, the commentary style so far. Is this something that you would want to keep watching going forward? And, like, if you guys could let me know, like, in the comment section when this video's over, what your favorite, like, live stream that I've put out so far has been, that would be super cool. It would help with engagement, and it would also help me kind of gauge where you guys are at and what kind of content you've been enjoying the most. T-Bree said, I love commentary and gaming. Well, you're in the right place, because I'll be hitting a mix of both. I might be switching it so that I only do gaming streams on the weekends, but I haven't fully decided that yet, because I've had, like, a pretty packed schedule with, like, going to the gym and the VC events and stuff too, so I don't want to promise gaming streams, like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I just don't think that that's going to be realistic. But I'm thinking maybe if we do gaming on the weekends, that'll kind of even things out. So I don't know what you guys feel about that, but Annie Rita Gonzalez said, I'm digging it, and I would love for you to explore other things too. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing the cults video, and I'd be down to do, like, some more iceberg stuff. Maybe if we, like, hit a goal for that, I could do the next iceberg video, set up, like, an easy one, like another, like, $5 goal, and then we'll do the next iceberg. I'll probably set that for tomorrow, just because we've only got, like, about 14 minutes left of this stream, and I don't think we'll be able to hit that goal before we end. But huge thank you to everybody who has a dono today. You guys came in hot and heavy to make Gregory say his little hoa-hoas in the beginning. Huge thank you again to the Drama Network for the $50 dono. That was crazy, so thank you guys. It's been wild so far. And as far as monetization goes, I actually didn't talk about this yet. Thought I'd be able to apply by today because yesterday I was at 2.7K watch hours, and then I woke up today and it says 2.9K, which means that like it literally has to be there by tomorrow. We are like an ass hair away from being able to apply. So I don't think that they actually review the applications for it on the weekend though, sadly. So it should probably take at least until Monday until I get monetization. But when I do, I'll have memberships. And what I'm thinking about doing for the membership tiers, I'll let you guys know so I can kind of gauge you guys' opinions on it. I'm thinking of doing like a $5 membership tier, doing like a $10 to $15 membership tier, and then doing like a $50 membership tier as like the big one. And like all of those will have like different perks to them, but I want to know what you guys think about the pricing before I get into like what potential perks might be, which I know is kind of like hard to say because you don't know like all the perks yet. But if off the bat you guys are like, nah, that pricing's just a bit egregious, then like it might also affect like what perks I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be outside of you guys' budget. T Bree said we still need to do Jackbox games. Oh yes, absolutely. We need to like schedule like a VC event for when we do Jackbox. When we did Mario Kart, that was really fun. I really enjoyed doing Mario Kart with you guys. Welcome. Good morning, Danny. Michelle Elizabeth said it's horrible that these women brought their children to that house. It's in the dock, but their faces were blurred out. Dude, that was part of what bothered me about one of the stories, was the woman saying that she was assaulted by him, and then she said, well, she didn't want to be a single mother, so she like brought her kids there to like be raised by him for the first few years of their life. And it's like, knowing what he did to you, how could you ever bring your kids there? But I know a lot of people were like putting it as like Stockholm syndrome, so I'm not trying to like attack her or anything. It's just, I could never like imagine having something like that and then you bring your kids there. It just seems crazy. Thank you so much for all of the very positive comments, by the way. I'm really so glad that you guys have been enjoying these streams. Definitely makes me feel good about where we're heading with this channel. You guys have been an awesome community so far. I love hanging out in the Discord with you guys. The main chat is like always so friendly. Everybody is just so nice and like will ask you about your day and stuff. So definitely check out the Discord if you haven't yet. There's tons of friends to be made in there, so. Shelby Reyes said, I think the twins are his. She said, though, that she was pregnant before going to the house. So, a little interesting. Sykes said, you're really good solo. Thank you. It's always nerve-wracking going from being on a stream where you have, like, somebody to bounce off of to going to, like, being solo and feeling like you have to fill in all of, like, the time yourself and being able to talk for, like, 2 or more hours just, like, with yourself. But I think I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it. Eventually, I do want to do, like, longer streams, like, over time. Even 2.5 hours still kind of hurts my throat a little bit towards the end. So I'm still getting used to it. The 3-hour stream I did with the cult, I was, like, dead after it. So it's just getting used to, like, talking this much again and jumping back into it. But it's been cool. And S1K just dropped the Discord link for any of you guys who need it. We've got about 10 minutes left. If any of you guys want to do me the biggest favor and drop a like and sub on the channel, that would be super cool. And there is a dono link pinned for you guys at the top if you did enjoy and want to throw a little something something, but it's not ever required. But the biggest thing you can do to support the channel that's free is just dropping a like and a comment when the stream is over. That's all I gotta say. River said, if I was Keem, I would be livid with tech. Also, still behind, but laying down on the job. What the fuck? No, literally clocking all that. T Bree said, I think you should also do a small one at $1.99/$2.99, even if it comes with nothing more than just Discord access, especially as a small streamer. It'll be a way to build a community. So I am going to always keep the Discord free. Basically the first membership tier, like the $5 one I was thinking, would give you access to like a separate main chat. So there'll be like a main chat that's like always general for like just general subscribers, and then we'll have like a members only chat, and then like the higher the tier. Like I was thinking like if you do like the $10 to $15 one, like you'll also get like a private VC as well. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm still thinking of like some other perks. I have some ideas for some stuff, but I don't want to get too ambitious until I've like thought about the logistics of everything first. So hell yeah. But let me know with that in mind what you feel about the pricing of everything. Michelle Elizabeth said, I want to see more true crime. I'm super down for that, especially any like big cases that happen that are like relevant. I'm down to hit. And if you guys ever have any recommendations for something that you would be interested in me potentially doing, you can drop it in stream suggestions in the Discord, which I do check pretty often. Just depending on how topical things are is when I'll get around to doing stuff. But free time to bring back the paintings. Actually, I thought of something better that I'll tell you about off stream. I thought of something better than that. Oh yeah, and for anybody that was a crown back in the LCU and is curious about your keychains, they should be getting finally all done this weekend. I literally just had to take last weekend off to compress my brain after everything that happened with quitting. But I'm feeling a lot better now, so I should be good to get everything done. I've only got like 2 more to finish, and then they'll all be getting mailed out together. So, good news. K-Bear's mama said, I would be interested in cold cases. They're often forgotten in people's minds. Yeah, there's a lot of them. We could get into that sometime. Shriza Mill said, ooh, what about for the members only? They can get a cool name thingy in the Discord. Oh yeah, that's true. We could do something like that as well. Depending on like the role, like depending on like the membership tier you have, like you'll have like a different colored name. Fuzz said, damn, y'all crowns got gifts. How did you not know, Fuzz? Hell yes, they did. Still working on them, but yeah. I can cook. I could do a cooking stream, but I would have to think of the like logistics of a setup for that. If I did that though, it'd probably be a members only stream when it does come around. But hi, Fuzz. Good to see you. River said Tech is gaining weight at a rapid rate. I mean, he didn't go to Pearadise for no reason. Shocker there. Ooh, major respects to Zay. What's that movie? Shutter Island? What do you mean? I'm confused. I do love that movie though. Oh, and just a reminder, guys, tomorrow is the day we are spinning the movie wheel. So if you have boosted this server, make sure that you get your movie picks in with me. And if you have not boosted the server, but you want to get a pick in, it's just $5 to do so. We do 2 movies a week, once on Sundays, once on Thursdays. Tonight's movie is going to be Wrong Turn. We're going to be watching that at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So only like an hour and a half from now, y'all. So if you're free and you want to come watch, it's a weird horror movie. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit of a weird one, but it's pretty good. So if you guys want to come check it out, definitely come hang out with us in the event VC from 7 p.m. And if you're just feeling Love Island tonight, that'll be at 9 p.m. And then we should be doing the Pearadise doc after that. Just a reminder, everything we got going on. Big Porky said Zay cooking right now. Tell him. K-Bear's mama said, would you be able to do any IRLs? I know it's hard being solo. Yeah, with the way it's currently set up, definitely not, because I'd have to run OBS. But if I ever do like a collab or something, that could be like a potential, but I wouldn't like count on it. Like I wouldn't like hold out for me to do like an IRL, because it probably won't happen. I don't really have friends in the area who are like streamers or into streaming or anything, and I know like a lot of my friends would not want to be on camera, so. Shraza Mill said, can S1K run OBS for you? Well, the problem is that I don't drive, so also if I did IRL, I'd only probably be comfortable doing it if S1K was with me, just in case something were to happen. So there'd be nobody at home to like do the computer, basically. Yeah, like he said, I could run OBS for her, but she can't drive. T-Bree said, you said the movie wheel is tomorrow. Yes, but we are watching Wrong Turn tonight. We spun for the wheel on Friday, so we did Sinners on Sunday, and then we're doing Wrong Turn tonight, but we will be spinning the actual wheel tomorrow to pick 2 more movies that we're watching. The Wheel's only got about 50 movies on it, and we watch 2 a week, so we'll get through them pretty fast. V Midnight said, that color looks really good with your hair today, Zay. Thank you. It's actually weird. I tried to dye it purple again, and it came out this, like, mauve color. I don't mind it, though. It looks pretty nice, I think. S1K said 6 likes away from 100. If we can get to 100 likes, I'll give you guys a little bit of a fit check. K's Mama said, I want to see a supermarket hunt like the old game shows, time limit, and find certain items, supermarket dash, maybe members only. I wonder if I even have like a store I could do that in my area. I guess Walmart. I was going to say without getting kicked out. But the issue is that my Walmart would like super dox where I'm at. They like have like shit everywhere that like makes it very obvious where I'm at. DP Cat Lady said right now I honestly wouldn't go over a 20 to 25 membership tier. Yo, that's super fair, to be honest. That's why I definitely want to keep like the 2 middle ones like a lower tier. Like I definitely don't want those ones to be high because I want them to be more accessible. The $50 a month one is just like if you want to show like some extra support type shit. But yeah, I won't be going above $15 for the first 2 tiers. That I do know for damn sure, so. T-Bree said, stay online for a second. I want to send my movie pic. I got you. I got 2 more minutes till I'm ending. Hopefully it works, but I'll give you a sec. V Midnight said, World Market Hunt. Dude, the World Market I go to is a quiet place. Is a very silent place. I would be so out of pocket filming there, bro. They would look at me like so sideways. It'd be unbelievable. Mill said, do it in the hot dog. That I would do, though. I would do, like, if I was gonna do IRL, I feel like it'd be better to be dressed up as a hot dog than just as myself. K-Bear's Mama said, what about a flea market? We TTS items to hunt. Or like I could do something like a thrift store. Like if we did like a thrift store, like an outfit challenge. But all of this still relies on the fact that I would have to have somebody else to run OBS for me. Basically. And I'm always iffy about that because it's not like this is like the same as like the LCU, for example. Having somebody run OBS for me means giving them access to my channel in some capacity. Annie Rita Gonzalez said, can I add Heathers to the movie wheel with my dono? Yes, I believe. Yeah, I was going to say, I believe you already threw a 5 earlier. So I will get that written down for you right now. Heathers. Boom. Added. I got about 1 minute left until we're gonna be ending here, but I'll give it a sec for T-Bree because I know she wants to get her movie pick in. K-Bear's Mama said, even a vid maybe if we did a TTS a day before and you vlog it so S1K is with you, vid goes members only. Surprise, oh yeah, maybe something like that.
Georgia Rule, 2 hearts emoji, 2 hearts emoji.
Damn, you hit that shit like a buzzer beater, T-Bree.
Surprise, motherfucker. Georgia Rule, 2 hearts emoji, 2 hearts emoji.
Greg wanted to make sure he was heard. Danny Midnight says, does your sister run OBS? Ooh, that's a good question. I actually don't know if she does or doesn't, but that's a good option. I could always have my sister do it. She is a streamer, but I don't know if her PC can handle doing face, like, because she usually does just gaming and she doesn't have a face cam with it, so I don't know. I'd have to talk to her and ask her like what her PC would be able to run if she could run Discord streaming through it, because it is a whole nother layer. All right, but Michelle Elizabeth said, did you see that Colleen's ex-husband is threatening Adam McIntyre? I did cover that a little bit, but we will cover any updates that happen. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to leave a comment letting me know which one of the streams that I've done so far has been your favorite. That would be greatly appreciated. And otherwise, I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. to watch Wrong Turn in the event VC. And I hope you guys have a great rest of